Get your blog ready.
That one's over 2,000 square feet.
Oh,
This
grandma
one.
feeling the shorts.
Oh man. See, we couldn't have the new intro because I keep getting flagged for it. apparently I'll use Epidemic Sound, and apparently it's not on Epidemic Sound no more. So that's gonna be our new intro until I figure something else out.
Damn it, man.
Well, Richard, did you recoup from No Trailer Number Dos?
You know, it wasn't too bad. That one wasn't too bad. I guess it's different when you're not the one in charge, right? You show up with the cameras. Whenever you're the one, whenever it comes to, you know, because we like to switch towns, you know, sometimes we'll be in what we like to rotate between maybe Wichita, Oklahoma, Texas. And so we kicked it off here in Oklahoma. So yeah, I was stressed the fuck out, man. I mean, I didn't sleep. I was, you remember, man, I was out here. They had me smoking a cigarette out here, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. And and then you go to the other town, and I mean, you're still, you know, it's your friends and your your family and stuff. You're still on edge, but not like when it's, you know, when you're the one putting it together, you know. So it was cool to go kind of let my guard down and see a different one in a different town go down. It was cool.
Yeah. I know I wasn't expecting that 26-degree weather and fog and dew and everything set in. Man, we were in the driver's meeting and y'all were all doing it, and I just happened to look out the window and I seen it, and I turned around and looked at y'all, and then like 2 minutes later, turned around and looked, and the fog was rolling in. I was like, oh shit.
Damn.
Dude, those first 2 or 3 pairs, those guys, they made a pass with, like, man, you might have been able to see maybe 40 feet in front of you, and I'm overdoing it hard here. Maybe,
Holy shit.
Yeah, maybe less.
I didn't think anybody was going to go anywhere on that road. And then, but that red Mustang, he made a pretty lick. He made a pretty decent lick for a wet road.
Dude, that guy was on one. Because when we were driving there, I'm telling you, right, 70 miles an hour, you could see maybe, dude, I mean, whatever was in front of you was in front of you. If something was in front of you, there's nothing you could do about it. And these guys were going 100 plus.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're wild. But
some guys trained in spots, they were ace for insuring it because they couldn't see out their front windshield, so they were head out the window.
For real. Dude, I saw what was that brand, Rain-X bottle getting passed around?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. It was a good race though, you know. I mean, we got like 2-3 pairs, and then supposedly cops were coming, and we went to the second spot, and man, it was even worse because the second spot, the fog had really rolled in, and then you had a field on both sides, so all the humidity from the grass and the pasture and all that was just air. I mean, it was like a scene out of Sleepy Hollow or something, man. I mean, you couldn't see nothing.
Damn.
Yeah, and we were at that one spot, and I was like, man, why don't we go? Have y'all looked at that one road? Because I don't think nobody likes that road that we were on.
Oh yeah.
And they were all like, have y'all looked at that road? And they're all like, I'm thinking to myself, well, we got plenty of parking for everybody. And even if it is wet, then we got time to, you know, we can get off the road and we can think about it. And we're not just sitting out there like sitting ducks.
Yeah. Yeah. I always try to stay productive. You know, I went up to Luke and I said, like, look, man, what are we doing? What's the next move? And besides just standing here and kind of smoking cigarettes and just waiting. And we said, look, if we're going to go through, let's just regroup. Let's all go grab breakfast. We're all hungry, and we'll just meet up after breakfast. And so all these people, some of these guys with these no trailer cars had to no trailer their car out to go get breakfast. You know, just the rules stay the same. The racing is happening. You can't put your car back on the trailer. You have to drive your no trailer car to go get breakfast. So it was cool. We went to go get some breakfast, and yeah, oh yeah, we're in the game. The game started no matter what, you know. So we went to go grab breakfast. By 11 it looked a lot better, and we waited for the road to dry up a little bit more, and probably like 11:30 we went right back to it. Was it the best road? Probably not. It definitely wasn't the fastest road, but you know what, we got to do racing. We got to get pairs down. We weren't bothered by the cops. Traffic was low. So what can you really complain about? You know, what can you really say?
Yeah.
I mean, I would like big ass wheelies and all that good shit when it comes to street racing too, but when it comes to the streets, you're not, you know, you race the road you're given, and you know that was the road that was working. We got the whole thing done, and we even got grudging done. We got a few pairs of grudging, maybe 3-4 pairs of grudging on top of that. We never had any issues. Was it a tricky road? Absolutely. I mean, it was tricky, but it was fair, and everybody, you know, gave it their best shot. And yeah, you know,
I think that's more important than a gangster ass road, honestly. I
yeah,
mean, if you got a
for
spot
sure.
where you can get it all in and it's done, you don't have to worry near as much. Shit, that's way more important than a cars out there rolling, and doing wheelies.
Right.
I think that's badass, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the good roads, you know, I mean, unfortunately, some of the good roads, they'll have traffic. They'll have
Yeah,
heavy traffic, or they'll have the cops will be watching the road because it's known for a lot of street racing, you know. And so when we pull up, it's, man, yeah, it's a beautiful road, but how long will we be able to be here? And so sometimes when you get to those roads that might not be the fastest, but you got all day to race, guess what? You know, I mean, we're gonna street race.
yeah.
So all that aside, when did you I know you got into media and stuff, you've always been, but what got you really going? I know it was before 660 Street. I don't know if you want to talk about any of that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
but when did you really get the bug for doing all this stuff,
For street racing,
or cars in general, or
Media.
media or whatever?
What got you into
okay.
media?
So what got me into cars, you know, I had a Camaro, and I mean, I think I've always been into cars as far back as I can remember. I got into lowriders for a little bit. I had me a '93 Fleetwood with, you know, some switches, and
Switches and
I like,
bitches.
yeah.
Me too. I
Yeah.
was in the low riders.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I had a '93 Fleetwood. It was nice. And I mean, I've always liked all, you know, I don't just like drag racing. I like lowriders. I like all scenes of the car world, you know, that like the donks and like the motorcycles and like the trucking and all that. You know, I think it's all cool. But as far as like racing, yeah, I guess I've always been into racing for as long as I can remember, you know. And what got me into the media side of it was dang. Well, before I got media, I started flagging, and what happened with flagging is organizing races. Is I had my car, and I would, back then here in Oklahoma City, there was no organization. I mean, there was for the really fast cars, but my car wasn't fast, and we didn't really have nobody that wanted to do anything for us. So all we would do is drive around from spot to spot, and we would just pull up. And if you would get a message saying, "Hey, there's some cars meeting here," you pull up and you would race whoever you would bump into. There was no organization. Sometimes there would be a cop in there. And so one day my car broke, and I didn't have a car to go race. And I said, well, shit, how do I stay involved in the racing world without a car? Then I started thinking, well, fuck, you know, I mean, what if I put a race on and invite some of my friends, and we'll actually have something to do instead of just driving around from location to location with no game plan? And that's where I started organizing races. And it, you know, then because before the filming, I used to do races, and the cars were slow, you know. I mean, 12-second cars, you know. I didn't know anybody really fast, and you just kept doing them, and I just kept meeting more and more people, and one thing led to another. I met faster cars. I met the guys from Guthrie, Mike Demas, Joey, you know, back then was Maiden, and you know, just some of the names that were around here. You know, I met Cody Hoffman and all them, and Quentin, and I started meeting, you know, people that are like lifelong friends now. And yeah. And then as far as the filming stuff happened, one day, I won't say the name of the company, but I raced somebody. And it was a car I wasn't supposed to beat, and I beat him. And I remember there was GoPros all over my car. I mean, like, you know, like the rings that the GoPro leaves on your car when they put it on the paint. I had like 5 of those. And then I had one of their camera guy riding with me, right? So, and there was this really fast car, and I was the underdog, and I beat him. And believe it or not, like let's see who flagged it. Jared flagged it, and you know who filmed it? Chuck Sightsinger. Like this was long time ago. He was the one that helped out and filmed it from behind.
Damn.
Yeah, and I thought this video was gonna get posted. I was so excited, right? And it never got posted. And I think it never got posted because it was one of their main cars of whatever. But they never posted the video, and it really kind of like, damn, like why? I thought you guys were mutual, but I noticed there was some local by the homies type of deal going on, and their boy couldn't get beat by a nobody, I guess, because I literally back then, So I learned that day a beautiful lesson: start filming my own shit. I'm not gonna depend on a bigger company to come here and film anything for me. Because, yeah, I'm just going to start filming my own stuff just for me. And that's why I started filming. And then I started filming other people's races since I had the GoPros and I already had the equipment. I say equipment, I had cell phones. We started with cell phones. We started with cell phones and like 3 GoPros.
For cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I couldn't afford anything, man. I had no revenue income. Right, dude. I'm telling you right now, dude. I remember we did a racing. No, I went to a race with Toby. Toby invited me to a race in Kansas City, and it was like this big ass race. And I remember we got to the hotel. We just checked in. I had my camera, my equipment, my GoPros, and everything. And as soon as I parked the truck, I went and checked in. All I did was check into the hotel and get my cards for the room. When I turned around, they stole everything out of my truck. They stole my ATV.
I remember.
They stole my ATV, my gun, my $2,700 cash. They stole my cameras. I mean, all they left was like 2 GoPros that they didn't see under the seat and broken glass everywhere. And instead of going home, I said, you know what? We're already here. Let's grab a trash bag for the window. It was freezing cold. And we filmed. I don't even remember how many cars were there that night. It was a lot. It was like 28, 29 cars. And we filmed them with 2 Androids, the 2 GoPros they didn't see. And, that was it. That's all we had. But the point is, if you know what you're doing, you don't need good equipment. Good equipment won't buy the talent. If somebody hands me a phone and I know where to put it, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I mean, obviously you will, but as far as the perspective of filming, you can do it. Buying an expensive gun doesn't make somebody a good shooter. You know what I mean? Buying a fast car doesn't make somebody a good driver. So it's one of those deals, cell phones can, especially cell phones nowadays. Oh yeah, dude, you can. We did it with cell phones and there you go, I mean.
I remember last time we were up there and we were going to get a room and I can't remember the town. Do you remember the town's name?
Up there?
Yeah.
Oh, Summit.
Yeah. Summit.
Summit, Summit, Kansas?
Yeah, Summit Cove.
Oh,
Summit Cove. Where there's town.
Lee Summit.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, we're gonna get a room, and he said, yeah, but we're not staying at Lee Summit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they got me good that time, man. They stole a lot of stuff. But hey, though, granted, I did have racers send me GoPros. I did have racers send me funds to recover my stuff. And that's one of the first times I started feeling the love that people had for, what we were doing. I've always gotten so much support from the community, man. I mean, I'm being honest, like one of the most beautiful things of 660 Street, and like in the beginning, I was just doing it just because I mean, another thing too, man, like I could be open and talk about it now, but when I first started, man, I was a heavy alcoholic, man. I mean, like in a destructive way. Like I would race drunk. We would always be just partying, man, drinking. You know how it is when you're in your 20s, single and shit, and this racing stuff, it really opened up the door for me to kind of have a purpose. It gave me a place where I belonged. It gave me a place where I felt productive, and I felt like, it felt like I was wanted, and I saw people really support me, and it gave me some kind of direction when I didn't have one, and it kept me out of trouble. Most importantly, it kept me out of the bars for the most part, and yeah, see, Stephanie knows. Stephanie definitely knows. I promise. Like,
damn,
a lot of people here know. And actually, funny story. We did a race one time, and I would always flag the race drunk. I was always out there with a cold beer, but I did a really good job about it. Like, people kept coming back because I made it happen. Like, you got promoters that are smoking weed. You got promoters that are doing whatever, and some people can do it. Some people can do it,
Oh
and
yeah.
some people can't, right? So some people, I was one of those guys that I was a productive alcoholic or whatever. But one night, we put the finish line light out there, and it was where it's supposed to be, and a race happened, and one of the guys that he was never ahead complained that the light was shorter than it should have been. It wasn't at full 660. So we start arguing, and he gets in my face. And next thing I know, I'm gonna fight this dude. And they break up the fight. And I threw my hat at him and all kinds of stuff. And my friends that were there that night, they said, "Hey man, because I'm drunk." And the point of everything is this: they said the next day they all call me in a group a group call, and they say, "You were in the right. That guy was being a dick, but because you were drunk, you were in the wrong. So here's the deal: you can drink, you can do whatever you want. We won't judge you, but we will never come to another one of your races ever again if you're drinking." And that hit my soul, because I was like, damn, like I love this racing stuff. I don't want to lose it. And these are the people that I look up to too. I mean, so that's where that was the night that I separated alcohol from drag racing for the rest of my life.
Damn.
And so that night,
That's
and
awesome,
ever since
man.
then, so ever since that night, I've been kind of like, all right, if I'm going to go racing, it's racing. If I'm going to go film, I'm going to go film. Yeah.
Oh, witty.
Damn.
Oh, witty. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss the evil, man. But yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, man.
Damn, that's awesome.
been
For
amazing.
real.
Yeah.
I remember
I'm sure a lot of people
when you
don't
came
know
out.
that.
I remember when you came to DFW and you had, I guess you had Coronas or whatever, and I was like, "What the fuck's this motherfucker doing? They're drinking fucking." I said, 2 wrongs don't make a fucking right out here."
Dude, for real. Oh my
I think that's
God.
when I first met you, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Dude, I
Who's this
remember that
guy?
night.
So
I
what the
met,
fuck is-
Damn.
that night, I remember that night. I remember, I think Jeremy Clark's wife was in my face, and I think Joe, one of the guys with Joe Watson was in my face, and I think it's when we first brought a device called the Tire Crack 5000 to Texas, and we were cutting off more heads with just showing them that they couldn't jump and proving it to them. And I met Lonnie that night. I mean, it was so bad, but that night was also one of the best nights of my life, because now like these people like Chris McKnight and everybody, now, I remember, man, everybody became like family, because the thing what happened is they said, oh man, we were beefing with Texas. We were beefing. Well, the next race happened, and I went down there by myself, and everybody's like, oh man, they're gonna beat your ass. I'm like, dude, it's racing, like it is what it is. And that's when everybody just kind of started opening up, and we started like becoming friends. And I met so many friends that night, man. Like and people that became like family, like my Texas people. I was down racing in Texas more than I was racing in Oklahoma, to be honest, at first. And it was just cool. It was a beautiful experience to just link up with my family across the Red River, and then we just started it all just exploded after that,
Damn.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. I mean, that was what, shit, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Crazy.
2016, 17.
Yeah.
2017. You had just had your big cash days race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I remember I was just a guy in your DMs, and you didn't even write me back.
Yeah. I still don't even write you back.
Hey, I'll be telling my girl the same thing now that she's all happy and in love. I'm like, damn, remember when you used to leave me on red? Now look, same thing with Chris over here. He left me on red, and now now we're on the live feed. Now we're on the chat.
So you joined? Did you start? I know you started with some other. You were with another page, Facebook page, and then you got fed up with that. Then you started 660 Street.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember when you started that? What year?
Like actually 660 Street, or
Yeah.
I think like 2000, late 2017, early 2018, I believe. It's when I started. Yeah, because when I was with the other company, you know, it was just an idea, and I was just out there filming stuff, and it just came to like, man, I'm the one out here 2 o'clock in the morning all the time. Like, why am I not doing this for myself? And you know, I try to do like get half and half on the company on paperwork, and they weren't going for it. So I'm like, well, I'll just go start my own shit. And then I remember, man, I can't believe I'm about to give y'all an exclusive here. I remember when I left that and I started doing my own company. I remember there was like 2 or 3 weeks that people were like, Richard is banned from the racing community. Don't tell him about the race. Don't tell him about the spots. And I remember they were purposely trying to stop me or slow me down from starting my own thing. And they put like a bad name, like, like they try to basically throw dirt on my name, which, boy, that's happened quite a bit in my career, and I love it. So when they did that and I found out they were trying to outcast me, I said, okay, see, where they messed up is I don't need to be invited to anything. I can create my own content. That's the difference. A lot of media companies, they're out there trying to, in people's DMs, they're out there trying to figure out what's going on next or what the move is. I'll go. I swear to God, if you give me 24 hours, I'll have 16 cars, 200 buy-in. What is it tomorrow? Wednesday, Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Like Thursday, yeah. If somebody wanted to sponsor, like, if somebody wanted to sponsor, say $3,000, I'll pay you back if I don't get it. I promise you, we would have a race tomorrow, and we'd be racing for that money, and I would have the cars there, no problem. Like, the thing is, I don't depend on other people to go film anything. We create our own content. Like Chris, if Chris wanted to film a race tonight, he'll film a race tonight. He doesn't need nothing. I mean, it would just, because when people come to our races, they don't come to our races because we have a good live feed or we have good camera equipment. They come to our races because we love what we do, and we put our heart and soul into keeping people out of trouble and being fair about a good race. Just being fair as possible. And so it's one of those deals, like, but back then I just started doing my own races. Whenever I started my own company, I started doing my own shit. They didn't want to invite me to their stuff. Cool, I'll start doing my own. And it doesn't matter whose side you're in. It's all about a buy-in and racing. And that's one of the things. I stopped for a while, and I need to focus on myself. But now I'm like, I want to get back to what I used to love doing, and started getting back into the street racing. And sure enough, the second when we kicked off No Trailer number 1, I sent out 16 invites and I got 16 lock-ins. No excuses, no. People weren't playing; they were ready, and it was cool to see that everything come back just the way that we left it, And then we did No Trailer number 2, and that was awesome. And will there be a No Trailer number 3? Possibly, maybe. And yeah. Sorry, man, I'm all over the place with my ADHD, but yeah, that's basically the nice thing about, I guess I consider myself like an organizer first, media second, I guess,
Yeah. Have you been like me? Have you ever been, maybe Happy too, have you ever been accused of calling the cops on people?
Oh, damn.
Racing?
Well, I have been.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, why would I fucking call the cops on anybody? I mean,
well, I mean,
it's fucking stupid.
To be fair, I've called the cops on myself before. I didn't like the road we were racing on, and I was bored. I was like, let's spice things up. I'm just gonna call the cops on ourselves.
So watch this shit.
I make the joke all the time that, when we're dicking around, I was like, what the fuck are we waiting on? The cops? Fuck, I'll call them myself.
Right.
I mean, shit, but I really ain't gonna call the cops on people. Fuck. You could be out racing, and I ain't gonna call the cops. I've had people. I've actually rode out of a spot before, and like 10 minutes later, the cops show up, and they're all, "Oh, Limpy fucking called the cops." Yeah. Fucking Limpy called the cops. Yeah,
dude, that's
have a fucking brain in your fucking little.
That's funny. Brain. That's really good. I'm very impressed. Like, whoever came up with that one, that's got to be really impressive. That's a good one. I thought it was
funny. I've heard it, and I was like, why would I fucking call the cops? I don't fucking care.
No, that's like capital sin in the drag racing world. That's like capital sin right there. Like, that's That's like that's up there with like pinching the stash or pocketing security money. Or I've been accused of pocketing security money before, and I'm like, really? That's crazy, because I could have sworn I threw in $40 myself. Like, what am I pinching?
I throw in fucking
Like-
money all the time, and but you know, back when I used to do races here, and you do races, we always add money onto the pots of the streets. Spectator money, this,
Yep.
that, and the other. Seems like here lately around some of these parts, it's all just 100% payback. I don't understand where all that money's going.
It ain't right.
I don't understand, but maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
We've always counted money out. We have all the spectator money, all the driver's money, and security money. We take security money out, and we have put all this money. And hey, you're running for this much money right here.
Yep.
We don't have to hide our money. We don't have to put all of our spectator money in the truck and hide.
You counted on the tailgate right in front of everybody.
Right in front of everybody.
that's the way
This
it's
is what
supposed
you're
to be.
running for, people. This is what you're running for, not fucking 100%. I mean, fucking these races nowadays, the fucking promoters can't even fucking put in money on top. I mean, it's fucking stupid. We're fucking putting money in on the streets, and y'all can't even put none of the money on the fucking track.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they'll have the bleachers jam packed, and I mean, it's I was laughing because I was almost gonna start doing a printout, like showing, like like when legal events, they'll show a printout of where the money went. Like, this is how much money we had. This is how much money. This is where the money went. So I mean, I don't even count the money. Last time I got the money, I just handed it all to you, and I'm like, hey, whatever's there. We had one guy. The last no trailer we did here. We paid, like, the trailer guy watched the trailer for, I think, 3-4 hours, and I gave him $100. And then, like, finish line guy got like $50, and then security got, like, I think $120 a pop. And then my start line security got, like, I think $40 or $50 or $60, I think. And then the rest, like, we always have, like, exactly, make sure that we have everything covered, make sure nobody tries to steal the trailers, make sure we have finish line, start line, and then the regular security guys that are gonna basically be posted up and looking and everything. Like, but as far as, like, the money goes, dude, can you imagine? I would pay $500 out of pocket if you could promise me the cops weren't gonna fuck with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I could give a shit about doing this to get money. I want to see the race happen. Fuck everything else. I'll pay the cop if he would let us race. Like, especially when you're out here on the streets, that's where the heart and soul is of street racing. Like, that's where you're there because you want to be there. That's what's different about it.
There's still a lot of people, though, I feel like, lost respect for the game.
Oh, there's some people are using the game as a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that. I mean, God dang it. Okay, I mean, dude, I've seen people be this way. You hand them a flashlight, they bang it one time, and they start becoming somebody else. And you're just like, and then you watch them just take flight with it, and you're like, man, dude, like, you were somebody different before you banged that light. And and it's not one person. I've seen it time and time again. I don't say anything, dude. I'm like, dude, you know what? Whatever, man. Like, I've learned the best thing is just keep my nose down, do what I do, and that's it. I've had people, I've had, like, the whole thing with, like, Race Night in America. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I didn't give a shit. Yeah, I don't. Stay. You can always. One of the beautiful options is just not to say anything at all, and it's a beautiful one. Just leave it alone and just keep doing what I'm doing. And same thing with whenever right now I took like a year off, and people were all here saying, "Oh, he's done with the racing. He doesn't care. He turned his back on the game." Blah 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 blah. That's cool, man. That's fine. Whatever. And then you come back up here, pick it up, and it's quiet. Nobody's saying anything. The haters are always gonna hate. People who want to complain are gonna complain no matter what. They'll complain on a sunny day on the best road. Doesn't matter. That's just who they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dean wants to know where's it at? Oh, there it is. Can we get cars back on the 660 streets and not skulls? I don't want that taken the wrong way.
So
no more skulls on the t-shirts.
the issue we have with that, the original shirts, we had cars, and then, like, if we had a truck racing a Nova, none of the Fox Body guys wanted a Nova or vice versa. So it was just very, and then racers didn't like other racers that were on there. And I'm not buying that shirt because it's got so and so on there. So we try to get a little bit more mutual. And we just did something in reference of like just like street racing, or keep the streets alive logo, or something that it's more just like a blanket for drag racing versus individual cars. Because like when we had Z Unit on there, nobody wanted about there's some people didn't like Z Unit, some people didn't like the mud. When we had Mike Demos or Shop Truck or whatever, people were just so. But yeah, I have thought about bringing them back and switching it around, do a little retro kickback and start putting some cars on there. Maybe that's actually maybe a good idea.
There you go. And Luke says he doesn't pay starting line or finish line. They do it because they want to come watch.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've done the same thing. I don't pay. Which when me and Heath did everything, Heath did it because he wanted to, but I don't. Tire crack and finish line. They're there watching the race as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're not really a part of the game. But I mean, if you want to take money out and pay them.
Yeah, like I wish before we had a good secure parking lot where just kind of like the situation in Wichita where like it's gated. But here we didn't have that. The trailers were just out in the open, and like I mean, you guys saw it was just a parking lot at the mall, and I was like, shit, there must be at least $500,000, literally $500,000 worth of trailers there. Yeah, I mean, you grab a truck, your average diesel truck, even a decent one's like $40,000 a trailer. Some people had an enclosed one for like, say, like even like a $20,000 enclosed trailer. Those some nice ones there. You grab that $60,000 involved in truck and trailer, and you grab 10 of them. How much money is that? And you grab 16 of them. So I was like, well, we give somebody $100 bill, and all they got to do, they're not a cop. All they got to do is call the cops. If somebody's out there trying to latch something on, we're not robbing a bank. Those are just trailers, and somebody's trying to steal it. So all they got to do is look out. So yeah, I did think it was good to have security lookout. And then like my finish line guy, yeah, I'll just normally throw him a little bit of gas money, $40-$60 or something. Just because everybody woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're all grown at this point, like at least breakfast or something. And like also too, yeah, I do ask the spectators, hey, if you're here to watch the race, man, help contribute in some kind of way. I mean, the racers are already throwing in, and then if spectators throw $2, $5, $6, $8, $10, I don't care. Something, when I go to somebody else's race, I always got a 20 I'm willing to throw in, if they collect spectator money.
Yep.
Just to kind of help fatten up the pot, or take care of, like, because races don't just happen. I don't just walk out here with a light and it just magically happens. You need security, you need a game plan, you gotta have a team behind you that's gonna support you and be there to have your back whenever you need it. See, damn, that's what I'm.
They're good friends though too.
Oh, I know. See, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what we got away from the cars and the shirts. But yeah, it'd be cool to bring them back.
Yeah, that and the way that because me and we've been buddies for a while, and we kind of joined forces on how we do stuff. I mean, I've been doing it for a long time, and you've taught me quite a bit of stuff, and I'm sure I've taught you a little bit of stuff. But the way we do stuff is there's no hidden agenda.
Nah.
There's no. Well, Richard does it this way. Why can't you do it that way? I mean, this ain't rocket scientist, people. I mean, we all do it basically the same thing. It's just there's little twerks differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Richard likes to stick and move. He likes driving 40 or 50 miles all in a day. I like driving 40 or 50 miles all at once and just staying at one spot if we can. But it's street racing. Sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We've always. I like the fact that everybody brings it. Everybody does it different. We know whenever Toby was around, Toby would do it his way. Toby knew his area better than we did. And when I go to Texas, Chris will do things different, and he knows the area. He knows how long we can stay somewhere, and he knows, if the cops come, how bad it could be, or if we're good or we're not good or whatever, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's always it's like, you know, the playbook is the same. You know what I mean? No matter where you are, you know. I love the drag racing community nowadays. You know, for the most part, it's just it's like you say too, though, man. There's definitely I don't even know how to say it, man, because of social media. Because of social media, YouTube, things are changing, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is different now. Racing isn't what it used to be, and not necessarily in a bad sense, but it's changed quite a
Yeah.
bit, you know.
Oh yeah.
Normally when we're gonna do a race, well, I'll say, hey, you know, we got a no trailer race coming up, and I'll have so many people that I don't know message me, and I'm not knocking anybody that I haven't raced with before. I'm just saying, like, you know, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people just want to comment on their, hey, how come you didn't invite me? But whenever you head them back, they just leave you on red. They don't say nothing. They just want to comment on there for the attention.
Yeah, I've had a
And
couple of people message me, but hey man, hit me up for the next race, and then I tell them, it's like I told them, had 2 people like hit me up, man, let me know when you're doing the next one or where the next one's at, and I tell them, you know, I tell them where we're going to do the next one at. They look at it but no response. So all right, you know,
yeah, they just,
we're not going to
and
beg.
that's what
We're
it
not
is.
going to beg people. You know, if
Right.
you're down, you're down. You're not. You're not. I mean,
Yeah, what's crazy is, the craziest thing about it is we know who's down to race by now. I mean, you know, whenever we do a race coming up, we got 16 cars without even making a post. We got 16 cars that we know. I mean, you guys know. You guys can look on there. You know, Lucas in. You know, Shop Truck is in. You know, the guys that roll with Shop Truck are in. You know, the guys from Wichita are in. You know, the guys from Texas are in. Like, there's no need to really dig into it. Like, we can get the cars, that's not a problem, but we like to make a post to open up the door, bring new racers in. But you know, some people, they just, you know, I mean, at this last one we had like 2 or 3 guys that never raced with us, and they showed up and they were just happy to be there, and now they're going to get an invite to the next one. And you know, and it's cool to watch the community grow and watch like people go out there and just have a good time.
yeah, and that's what people don't understand is, you know, the people that show up get the invites first. And then, you know,
Yeah,
when we got X
exactly.
amount of cars, and you know, if we get X amount of cars, that's it.
Yep, they just keep, you know, like, you know, and especially in the no trailer world, you know, everybody knows who's down to travel, who's down to show up and not complain or ask me 50 questions. No trailer in general is simple, man. You're allowed to trailer to the spot, because I'm not gonna make you street drive your car, especially out of town. You know, why would you street drive a car 3 hours to enter a race? You know, you could trailer to the spot, but your trailer stays there. And once we start, we start. And I don't care what fuel you're running. I don't care if you're in a pro mod. You're the one going to jail if you get stopped. I don't care.
Mhm.
You know, as long as it's on a small tire and no wheelie bars, the rest is on you. If you spend
I like it.
$500 in meth fuel or C16 or whatever fuel, you know, that's on you. I mean,
It was at Bo one time. I think he spent more money in fuel than he won the race that one
hey,
a
but
couple
he
years
won.
ago.
Yeah. He said he had like a pounding headache driving around with the fumes inside the car too. He's never done that before. He said his head was pounding when he got home, but he won it though.
It was
He
like
sure.
on C23 or something. He's like, man, I was like, good Lord. He goes, but I won. I won.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, you're right. So
I think you
that
all are
that's
the only ones really doing like a no trailer style race like that, right? There ain't nobody else really doing that on the street, like an organized type deal, is there?
There's people that try to do it, but you know, I mean, we've been doing it for a while. I mean, believe it or not, I did no trailer stuff back about 12 or 14 years ago.
Damn,
But
I like it.
but you know, and it's fun. It's fun to me. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes away the trailers and this and that and the other, and you know, you can get away with more shit. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's like then I've had people hit me up and be like, "Why do you guys?" Here's my thing right here. Let me put this one on the air too. A lot of people ask, "Why do you only do it during winter?" Okay, to me, no trailer racing. I don't know why. To me, it's a morning thing. It's an early morning. It's not a 2 o'clock thing. You don't drive around a quiet neighborhood or an industrial park in a clapped out big block at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's a red flag. But in the morning, you're just cruising your car. You're going to coffee and cars. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So to me, it's always been a morning thing. And the cold weather for me, You know, the cold. Think about it. Think about it this way: the colder it is, the better. Because if we try to do a no trailer in mid-July, what happens? We get to the spot, and what do you see? Somebody's jogging. Somebody's out there jogging at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Walking their dog.
Yeah, some dude that hasn't got laid in 3 weeks, and he's out there just jogging, and he's like, oh man, people are trying to have a good time. Let me call the cops.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And you know, but when it's wintertime and it's 21 degrees, ain't nobody out there jogging. And when the cops pull up in wintertime and it's 21 degrees, they don't even get out of the car. They crack the windows, they get on the intercom, they talk shit because their breakfast is getting cold at IHOP, and we just leave. But if you can't do it during summertime, it ain't gonna work that way. We tried it a few times and it was a nightmare. I mean, I'm telling you, same game plan, but it just doesn't work during the summertime.
I like it.
And the nicer thing too about during the wintertime is, think about it. You know, you got not many legal events. People are kind of bored, and no trailer racing is that breath of fresh air that people need during a down season. I know plenty of people that actually build their cars just for no trailer racing. You know, they want to be able to drive 200-300 miles and go out there and have a competitive car on the streets, you know. And yeah, so yeah, that's why I like no trailer season. It's fun, it's cool, it's something different. And yeah,
I like it. I wish other people would do it other places. I don't think there's a big enough group of cars around this area to do it, but I like it.
I will say too, I've had some people show up and say, well, why are you allowing race cars in it? It would be funner if it was all real street cars. And then they you know, why are they running race fuel, or you know, so on and so forth. And here's my thing, man, like, I'll leave that what fuel and all this extra stuff, man, I'll leave that to the legal events. Because when it comes to no trailer, and I think Chris feels the same way. Whenever we do a no trailer race, I'm gonna be straight up. It's literally the fastest small tire cars or trucks, I like to believe, with the balls to street race their shit in the world. I mean, that's how I feel. Like if it's on a small tire to 2810.5 non-W or no 2910.5 non-W or smaller, because with just the legal on the streets, like actual street racing. Like if you go to a regular cash days in the Midwest, you know, if you want to street drive your shit in that, cool. You know what I mean? If you go to jail, that's on you. If your parachute blocks the tag and the cop had a problem, that's on you, man. Like, I'm not here to check registration. I don't care what fuel. I don't care about none of that. Yeah. I know you got to buy in. I know you street drove your shit, and that's it. I don't care. And you know, as far as cool downs, that's, you know, that's on you. Like, yeah. We're not gonna wait. You know, when we say we got 10 minutes, that car pulls up and does a burnout right at the 10-minute mark, you better be next to him, or that's it. Homie's moving on or getting a bike run.
Yeah,
you know,
I
mean, that's what it is. You know, it's just the fastest cars. And everything else, I don't care, man. If that's not your car, that's your problem. You don't have a tag for it, doesn't have a VIN, not my problem. I got your buy-in. Whatever happens to you, that's on you. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Now if you come out here on meth and you win the whole thing, cool. You're the one driving around, pouring, you know, doing whatever you have to do to make it happen.
Yeah, there's been a couple of cars that have to pull over, you know, and get fuel. You know, you got X amount of time before we're running the next race. But we did have a problem on the first race because the guy that was in the finals was being followed by the cops, so he had to do some laps and stuff, and so the cops wouldn't end up finally losing them. But I mean, there's some circumstances where you're on a time limit, but you know, if you're probably being followed by the cops, you ain't going to go to the spot. So you know,
yeah. Because his passenger called me. He's like, "Hey, what do we do?" He's like, "On us." And then my finish line guy was behind him, and I actually have it on the video. It's going to be on the video because you can hear my Lloyd. Lloyd was on finish line. He said, "Man, he's following the Maverick." He called it a Vega, but he's following the Vega, the Maverick. They're getting on the highway together, and they call me like, "Where are we going? Do we go to this pin?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, pull somewhere else." And so they pulled into a Brahms, and Aston from Houston, from Austin, yeah. Aston from Austin was also getting followed, and they pulled into a Brahms, and the cop just stayed there and stared at him. And then the cop left, and then they pulled up to where I dropped the. So the thing about the first no trailer that was crazy, we were followed back to the parking lot where the trailers were, and the cops were waiting for everybody to pull up, and we did the finals right behind the cop. So the cop that was the cop that was literally there, boiling red, mad as fuck, right? My daughter's stepdad, he was the guy that was watching all the trailers. And when the cars did the burnout, I told him, I'm like, can you hear us? He's like, are you fucking kidding me? Yes. And I'm like, all right, is the cop still there? He's like, yeah. I'm like, let me know if he leaves. And so we banged the line. We did the final right behind the cops. And he said, you can, he said, you can hear us. You can hear us in the parking lot. Like, and everybody that was there that day, literally from Jay Sandrati to, dude, I don't even, like, I can't remember everybody's name, but you know, who was there loading up shop truck, all of them, like they could all hear us racing in the background as the cops were over there harassing them.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we had to do it though. I wasn't splitting anything, bro. These guys got it. I mean, whatever, man. I mean, when we pull up, you know, my job is to provide a safe location to race, and we had enough heads up. We weren't splitting that money, man. You know, we can make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. I don't like splitting. I don't like splitting, and I don't like, you know, whatever. Sometimes you have to, but I'm gonna do everything I can to avoid it.
Yeah.
What do you say? I didn't read that.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you got anything you want to ask him, Happy?
I'm sitting here trying to think.
I got something.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your asshole gonna hurt when I get my car done and we're gonna race each other? I'm gonna call your ass out on no trailer.
Oh, dude, my car's both of our cars are at the trailer right now. I mean, not at the trailer, but at the shop. And I think right now our first race is trying to see who can get the car out of the shop first. That's going to be round 1. And then round 2, because mine is in some pieces right now, but it should be out pretty soon. And I keep telling Chris, it'll be funny as hell. You know, me and him call each other out first round, you know.
It's going to happen.
Because he's got a turbo LS Fox body, dude. I'm like, holy fuck. I got a Pro Charge Nova. That's going to be.
Don't lie to you. He's got a Pro Charge Hemi.
Hemi.
Yeah, that's what all the guys. That's what all the big ballers have in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And Pro Charge Hemi. You're gonna Hemi my ass whenever we bang that.
What do you haven't done to your Chevy too?
It's just an LS3 4080. It's at Able Racing right now. And it's just a D1X Pro Charger with we think we're doing a 10-pound pulley. It's coming like 650. On the 85. I mean, it's got no cage, no parachute. I'm not trying to die, and like 1955 seatbelts. So yeah, I'm straight. You know,
I see the pictures and stuff of it and the videos you've posted. That car's clean, man.
Thank you. Yeah, we really like it. I love it, man. I really do. Actually, guys, for everybody watching, just giving myself a little shout out here, but I just premiered a YouTube video from Muskogee battle on the Blacktop 3. So y'all, you know, it's premiering right now, but after this is over, y'all go check it out tonight. It's just some good racing. The road reminds me a lot of where we raced Sunday over there in Wichita.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's rough. So that was some good racing, and all the other videos they're coming. We got Hinton coming up after that, and then the big H-Town, and then I'm trying to catch up on the no trailer stuff. Yeah, dude, I promise. Like, as far as videos, we stay backed up. Like, if it rained every day for like the next 3 months, I'll still be dropping a video. Like, I mean, we got so much work. It's not even funny.
How long does it take you to make a video like you do?
Motherfucker, a lot.
How much footage do you take to make a video? How many hours of footage do you have to make a 30-minute video for say?
Fuck, dude. Man, Chris knows, he's done a few of them. Man, just to perspective, like here's one. H-Town, for example, the last H-Town throwdown, that video we raced for what, 24 hours straight, I think, or something. I don't know.
My fucking feet felt like it was like 48 hours.
God.
Yeah, so we might have raced for, let's just say, 18 hours. So I have 18 hours worth of footage from the left side, start line camera, 18 hours worth of footage from my camcorder guy, 18 hours worth of footage from the finish line from Heath, the big end guy. And then S and Q and B-roll and interviews and driver ride along. So yeah, there might be like 50 hours worth of footage from multiple angles that we have to sit there and separate and organize and fabricate together, and the whole video might be like 4 hours long. So it takes like, man, and I'm just one person working a full-time job and trying to be a family man and all that, dude. Yeah, it'll take me some time.
I bet.
But I always try to do my best, you know. I mean, I always try to enjoy what I'm doing. Most importantly, like if I'm not enjoying it, why am I doing it? Because I'm definitely not getting rich, you know. And like sponsors too, you know. Right now, I had one open spot for a sponsor for 2023. If anybody wants to hop on board, you know, the door's open. I always greatly appreciate it. But you know, I mean, I'm excited. You know, we're continuing. I just continue to love what I love doing. You know, like I told Chris, me and Chris had some talks. I remember when he was working that truck driving company, and I remember, man. I mean, he was just every morning getting up. If I called him, he would talk to me on the phone 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and he was always doing the best he could, working a regular corporate job, you know, say like a regular 9 to 5 or whatever, even though sometimes he wouldn't get home till like 7, 8 o'clock at night. And I remember, you know, I told him, I was like, I told Chris everything that I knew, as far as media or, you know, how to get his name out there. I said, man, start making these other companies tag you, start making other these names, make a page, you know, get a page started, do this, do that. And you know, and I just wanted to see him succeed. And the reason why so much, and I knew these things for myself, but my thing is, I wasn't at the place in life where he is. You know, I feel like he's already done what he needed to do. He already put in the time for the game.
Yep.
And at this point, I just kind of saw that people were just taking advantage of him. And I was like, you know, at this point, why don't you go out there and do something for yourself, make a name for yourself, and go out there and see the world. And it was cool to see him go out there, and now, you know, he's out there doing this, you know, what I would say professionally, full time, and he's out there meeting all these racers and, you know, doing these things. And I love seeing him succeed, you know, because like I said, he's at a different part in life, you know, and one day my day will come where I'll be like, all right, you know, now it's my turn. And that's the thing about the game. A lot of people, man, they don't want to see other people do good. They just oh, how come this guy this guy that? You know, whenever my Nova was getting out of the shop and they're like, oh, it must be nice. I said, what's nice? I don't understand. Well, what were you doing on the weekends? You know, I wasn't home. I was out there putting in work. You know? Yeah, there ain't nothing nice about anything, man. You know, we all get the same 24 hours. Ain't nothing nice. We grind. You know, I don't sell drugs, and I suck at freestyle rapping, so I had to figure something else out.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Dude, if we could talk some stories, man. I mean,
all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna head out now.
This guy, we were on our way to Arizona. No, it was Arizona, and
sleep deprived.
And I drove from my house all the way to East Texas. Picked up a car, drove up there to pick them up, then drove all the way to some place in New Mexico. I was like, we stopped and got gas. So then Richard was driving, and we had AJ and Dre in the back. And Richard has that thing. I hope he's not listening or whatever. Anyway, he had that thing matted all the way, and we come to the top of a hill, and there's a big truck changing lanes. Richard slams on the fucking brakes. Like I'm like stuck in the seatbelt where it's fucking like, I'm like, oh. And I hear this scream in the back. Like,
I've heard you talk about it. Sound like some girl.
I can't scream right now like he did, but it sounded like some little girl. And I'm like, when did we pick up this girl? And then it's like AJ screaming like a little girl in the back. And I'm like, what the hell? That ain't the big part. We're on the way back. Richard we're going to stop off to get some fuel. And in Arizona, there's some roundabouts or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They do roundabouts for the exits, and you go across the highway. Richard decided to take them. Some bitches like doing like 40 miles an hour.
Dude, I thought we were gonna flip over. I thought I was gonna finally fuck up for real. Cause dude, I thought for sure. Like I felt the left side starting to lift when I was turning right. I'm like, oh. I thought it was. Yeah, it was wild. We've had some good times.
But when Richard's done driving, it's bad because it's when the sad music comes out.
When the Charlie Crockett comes on.
Oh yeah, when the sad music starts playing, you're like, yeah, he's going down. He's going downhill. Going downhill.
Shit.
Roll the credits.
Rest in peace. Rest in pussy.
Oh man.
Oh, that's a good time. That's a good time.
I've watched a few of y'all shows, and I want to let y'all know, I'm very thankful for you guys bringing me on here. It's been I was actually looking forward to it. Just life happens, but it's been cool coming on here. I just want to give a big thanks to everybody that follows the page and that's ever supported any of this, man. Because if you really look at it for what it is, right? Don't look at it like 1320 or Speed Obsessed or the Limpy Show or 660 Street or so on and so forth. Look at the overall thing of the car community and drag racing in general. We're all in this together, man. I mean, you know what I mean? When I see somebody posting a video, I don't look at it as competition for my company. I look at it as like, damn, look at them. They're keeping the culture going. They're keeping this whole thing, this whole machine going. Think about it this way: the more people are building cars, the more people are racing. The more people are racing, the more shit we're all filming. I want to see 60 cars at every small tire race. And how is that going to happen if we all keep the community going? If we all keep the streets alive, we all keep drag racing going. It takes all of us, everybody
Not
together.
trying to hold each other down.
That's right.
Hold
Yeah,
each
man.
other
It takes
back.
it takes everybody together. Like I like seeing Street Race Channel do their thing. I like seeing everybody do their thing out there. Calabrese down in Austin, and everybody just do their thing, and it's cool to see different regions and everybody street racing. Like the people, the California family over there with Cali Nate and all them. They got what, West Coast 1320, I think, or something, and
Desert 1320.
and what's the other one? Dark Side Performance,
Yep.
or
Yep.
yeah. So it's cool to see everybody do their thing, man, and it's nothing but love. So that's
I agree.
like I said, big shout out to everybody that's always supported, man, for real. Like it's been awesome.
Do you want to give a shout outs or anybody give sponsors or whatever?
No, yeah. Yeah, just big shout out to every. I want to give a big shout out to my Oklahoma people. I mean, my media team. Stephanie Johnson. She's been with me from day one. My homie Dre, my camcorder guy. Now right now we got my homie. Let's see, Tyler Thorpe. He does really good on the photos. He's always down to help anytime he can. Anthony also. He's a lifesaver. And I got my girl's nephew. His name, we call him P, but his name is Armando. And dude, that little dude right there, he's young, he's 15, he's driven, and he's always down to help out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, big shout out to them, man. You know what I'm saying? And just so many. I mean, I can go on and on, like Lloyd and my Oklahoma team that's always down to help in Oklahoma when we're doing a no trailer race. But yeah.
Have you noticed the difference in your time off when you come back? Well, because you took about a year or so off.
Yeah.
You got yourself together and shit. I know life gets in the way of everything we do, but have you noticed the difference?
I took that year because I needed it. With all due respect, I love the drag racing and the filming and all, but I didn't know who I was without it. I didn't know who I didn't know who Richard was. I just knew what everybody wanted to see was just me make shit happen or film or put races on, and I completely abandoned myself, and I needed to take just time off for myself and get my life together, get back in the gym, focus on my family, focus on my kid. And I met somebody great, fell in love and all that, and I just needed to create a life for myself outside of all this. Now, as far as your question, what's crazy? God dang it. I don't want to say this wrong, but yeah, when I stopped doing shit, like, man, it got quiet in Oklahoma. I guess. I mean, I heard of a few races happening, but people were just like, like kind of, hey, man, when are you gonna do something again? Are you not doing anything anymore? And so on and so forth. And my thing is like, dang, like, does nobody else want to come in and keep things going? And I guess at that point they kind of realized, like, damn, this person was putting their time, their efforts out there, blowing off roads, marking off roads, and doing all this shit just to facilitate drag racing, street racing. And I think I definitely feel more appreciation whenever racers get an invite now, because now they're like, damn, oh yeah, I'm in. Because back then they would just get on their bullshit, troll, enter the group text, say they're in, and then not show up, or just be on that bullshit. And now I feel like they appreciate it more, because I mean, is it a dying sport? Are we a rare breed?
We're a dying breed. That's
yeah,
my
we
motto. You know what I mean?
yeah. Are we a dying breed? You know, how
Yeah.
much longer will this? If Chris stopped doing races and I stopped doing races and Luke stops doing races, 1, 2, 3, Lonnie stops doing races, 4.
Shit.
You know, what would be happening?
Yep.
You know, who would run up there and grab the torch? You know what I mean?
Everybody thinks it's easy till it's time to step up and do it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals, and I get, you know, I mean, I'm not me speaking for myself. I'll be honest. Sometimes I get tired. You know, like I just need a break and stuff, and you know, because for a while we were like every single weekend, I was never home. I mean, 2021, I was gone every single weekend almost. You know, and
Yep. I remember.
even when I got tired of doing it, bro, you know what kept me going was watching people wearing. I would watch these kids walk around with the 660 shirt on, racers with stickers on their cars. They got the big 660 on the back of the window, and I'm like, damn, man, like, man, these people really.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Do we
Let
lose
me
him?
know.
Oh,
We got you now.
yep.
Yeah.
And you still see them everywhere we go. You still got them same guys that still got the big 60, you know, the big 660 logo across the back
Yeah,
window.
yeah,
I'm like,
and it's
damn,
cool,
man,
man.
it's
I love
badass.
seeing it. Yeah, I love
Yep.
seeing it. You know.
Yep. All right. Would you got sponsors that support your page you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah. I wanna right now for my 2022. I want to give a big shout out. You know, this is my last month with them, but I want to give a big shout out. You know, to Full Pull Diesel Performance, Tony Rizzi. I want to give a big shout out to Twin Peaks Restaurants. They've always supported too. Trick Turbo, Hughes Performance. Trying to remember everybody. I want to give a big shout out to who else is on there, man?
I'm not going to take my shirt off and look at the back.
No, I think that's an old shirt.
Please don't.
That's that's the old one. Oh yeah, ICT Billet. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and Jeff 918 Motorsports. You know, Jeff has been one hell of a dude. Like, he's been real supportive too. So all you guys that need parts or anything, reach out to Jeff. Man, Jeff got you. Like, or he'll at least point you in the right direction. You know, make sure you check out the Facebook page. You know, but and then moving on to 2023, I do have some different sponsors, but right now I'm in 2022, and I'll announce that in a few weeks, because I'm a man of my word. You know, I try to up to the day. You know.
Yep. That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're a busy man, and appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you guys for having me, for real.
And we'll be seeing you in the streets here pretty soon, probably.
I'll see you soon, man.
Very soon, for sure. Happy, man. Nice meeting you, buddy.
Yep, for sure.
All right, bye.
Later. Oh, we're not done, people. We're not.
I'm
done.
glad to see he's back, man, for real.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's passionate.
Yeah. We got to thank our sponsor as well, on Tilt Racing, Chain Protect, 209 Gallery. Oh yeah, I forgot. I had stars from last. I went back and looked at the stars that we had last time with Alejandro Sanchez. Everybody knows who that is. Jamie Cook, Danny Hoskins, and Richard Caprock. So somebody, I think, did y'all rent a car at PRI? Did y'all take
No,
Ubers?
we drove.
Oh, y'all drove. Oh, yeah, you drove up there.
I drove up.
Boy, me and Ken almost fucking died.
Like I seen your post you made.
Like,
I was dying laughing.
We almost died coming back, and then me and Ken alone, we almost died fucking getting there.
Damn it, man.
And I'm like, man, I've been fucking ran over. I've been hip checked. I've been burned. I've been backed into. And this is how I'm going to go out in the fucking Uber on the way to fucking
Uber.
I was like,
I seen your post the other day. I was fucking tired laughing because I've been in a couple of those Ubers.
And that was Ken. He's like, he's never been in Uber. He rode 2 of them.
Oh,
we almost died both times. He goes, I took the app off my phone. I ain't never gonna do that shit again.
Oh shit. That's awesome.
Oh shit. Oh, Poland wants to know if you're gonna come to the Gut in April.
I want to. Yep, I want to. I believe so, man.
Yeah.
I believe so. I've been keeping up with all the flyers and stuff, and I like that just a little Looks like GTA, like video game flyers. I like that shit. I'll be there for the torque contest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to be the tech guy on that. I want to be the tech guy and the judge, both of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say judge. You said
Both
tech
of 'em.
guy.
I want to be tech and judge, both of them.
Yeah, I got to figure out what's small block and big block.
See a small block with aftermarket heads. Oh, well, did you have a productive time at PRI?
Yeah, I mean, we just walked around, had a good time. There was things I wanted to do, people I wanted to talk to. And you want to come on, Bill?
You want to come on?
Are you filming?
You filming, Bill? I'll bring you on. I ain't scared.
We'll send you a link. You can hop on here with us.
I'll send you a link right now. Oh boy.
Oh shit. You know, and see, I think, you know, I get the whole thing with kid friendly and this and that and the drag stuff. And
all right, he said send him a hell yeah.
You know, I get the kid friendly atmosphere and shit like that. But people, if you've never been to the gut, it's a different atmosphere anyway. So a twerk contest would fit right in with all the weed, all the beer drinking. It's a party atmosphere. It's a gangster atmosphere. They've got car stereo competition on one side at all times.
Yeah. They got bikes. They got bikes out there with probably $30,000 systems in them.
Oh yeah, people's doing donuts in the right next to all the people. I mean, it's badass.
You made some money while it was raining Saturday night?
Yeah, I made a couple dollars flipping some quarters. Man, and I tell you what, speaking of that, the indie guys, they're like, man, we really ain't got no spots, you know, to get any races off. Once I got out on the roads and started driving around, they got some of the baddest spots in the country. They got some concrete up there too.
I know. I was when I drove around one time. I was looking around. And I was like, "Well, damn, there's some good roads out there."
Hell yeah! And they may be one and dones, but fuck,
I mean, you can at least get a grudge race off. Some shit.
You damn right. Shit, that's where I come from. You know, that's my background.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they said the cops is hot up there.
There you go.
I actually had a conversation last night, Landon, with Sherry Beth, talking about insurance and stuff.
Just click the link, Bill. It'll tell you how to do it. It's the same thing I've always done.
We're gonna learn you today, Bill.
We're gonna learn you. Gonna get Jimmy. I have to message Jimmy Dale. He figured it out yesterday.
Oh my god, that guy, man, he's funny. He's funny. That dude's a trip, man. I don't see it.
Check your Facebook Messenger, Bill.
Facebook
Messenger. Facebook Messenger, Bill. Are you banned? Well, no, he can't be banned if he's responding. I guess
he'd still be on Facebook.
So what was your what was the best thing that you seen at a PRI?
I'll tell you what I really enjoyed, and I sat there and spoke to the guy, was actually that pickup truck that was in the Nitrous Express booth. The all-wheel drive, it had cantilever suspension. That thing had a 500 cubic inch LS in it, fuel injected, 2 dry systems. It made just over 1,000 horsepower on the motor.
Damn.
Yeah. I really wanted to stay after the show and hear that thing fire up, but that was a badass piece. Now, I mean, looking at all the parts, and you know, I'm old school. I'm still an old nitrous guy, so I didn't walk around and look at the turbos or pro chargers, or we glanced and looked at all the cars. There was a Nova over in the Frankenstein booth that was absolutely gorgeous. It's like purple and green flip flop. Yeah. God. And then actually getting to see the truck. from down your way up close in the Frankenstein
Oh,
booth was cool too.
crawfish. Yeah.
Crawfish.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
There he is.
oh boy.
Hold on, we don't have no sound.
Hold on. I got to unmute him. How do I unmute him? You're muted.
You're muted.
Unmute.
Can't hear you.
How do I unmute this motherfucker? Oh, wait. Oh. Oh boy. Said I can't unmute.
Yeah, he was muted.
You muted yourself. Oh boy. I'll tell you the best thing I seen was them Amish dudes walking around.
I was just seeing somebody's comment. Man, that was funny.
And we were sitting there at the Nitro Express booth, and I was like, man, there's these Amish dudes walking around, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Then turn around, look up, and there they are.
That was funny, man. I seen them one time too. They were looking at like boring machines and shit. I was like, well,
Yeah.
they got a machine shop like to fix their buggies or what?
I was
I
like,
don't know.
Then I think they might have been Mennonites or something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, they're there. Oh, wait. Oh,
There's- yeah.
There's Charlie. Mennonites.
Yeah, we were sitting there actually talking about them. Here they come walking by. Like,
And
oh,
I'm like, man, I seen these Amish dudes over there, and they were like checking all the stuff out, and you're like, get the fuck out of here. And I was like, look right there.
it was weird. I mean, it was weird.
Hey, there we go.
There we go.
We
got
can hear
audio.
you.
You had yourself muted. Had yourself muted.
Yeah.
What y'all working on tonight?
Are you gonna have a video for me to watch in the morning?
No, probably not. I was going to have one up tonight, but I kind of run into a snag here on my Malibu.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm plumbing up a new fuel system for the standalone.
Mm-hmm.
Upgrading the pump and the fittings and the lines and putting a bypass regulator on it. And I kind of run into a snag. I don't have all the fittings I need.
Gotcha.
So
Well,
I told Uncle Terry I was going to do it one way, and then when I get here and I start plumbing it on the car, I think I need to do it a little bit different. So I got to run back and see Terry tomorrow at Jegs and get some different fittings.
Yeah. Well,
What's going on, guys?
What'd you think of PRI?
Dude, I had a great time. Vicky and I loved it. We had a great time. Honestly, I thought it was going to drag on forever, and it flew. I couldn't hardly believe it was over when it was over.
Yeah.
It looked like you all were having a good time. Every time I'd walk by, I would just glance and look at you and wink or something. But I could tell you all were you were having a good time, man. And your car down there was awesome.
It was definitely fun. You know, we got to meet a lot of really cool people over there, a lot of fans, and I'm just very humbled by it. Honestly, just I really don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. Honestly, I was very happy that Nitrous Express invited me over there. You know, that was good. Hopefully they enjoyed having the car there and having us there.
What do you think
how
about
cool
Jimmy
was
Doe?
How cool was it driving out of that place?
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh shit. Hell yeah.
So when I got there, it was dark by the time I got out. You know, once we got the car put in the booth, and by the time I got out, everybody was gone that would direct me where to take the truck and trailer. So I took the truck and trailer back to
Sam's dad's.
No, well, I took it back to Airbnb the first night.
Oh, the first night, yeah.
Yeah, and the first night I stayed there, I thought this isn't the best neighborhood. It was a little wild at night where I was staying.
Nah.
Oh yeah. So I was like, man, I got to get this trailer someplace. So I texted Sam's dad the first night I was there. I'm like, dude, I really need a place to take this trailer. I almost took it there that night, but I thought it'll be okay one night. But I'm glad I did. So I took the trailer up to Sam's dad's place, and it's like 45 minutes away from downtown. And so Saturday when the show was over, I was like, it's not raining, the roads are dry. I'm driving this thing. I drove it out of there, drove it to a gas station, got fuel, and then drove it on out to Sam's dad's. About a 45-minute trip. But
yeah,
Got some heat. Got the ring set, huh?
Yeah. Well, we did that on the dyno, I think.
No.
Yeah, it was a great time. That was Vicky's first time to PRI. She really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Just very thankful for the opportunity.
And I didn't get no damn cookies.
I didn't either.
I
Oh,
got
you did
one.
too.
I got one cookie. I got one.
Well, that's one.
Just one. I got one cookie.
You got more than Mork got.
Oh, fuck Mork. Fuck that guy. Mr. Bumper McBumperson. Oh man, it was what was
did you
that?
have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time. I always have a great time, except for the Uber rides.
The Uber rides weren't good. I heard that.
Ooh.
I got a 2-tone autograph from you at PRI. That was pretty cool.
Both of them. Both of them. I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
That's awesome.
Great.
Did you happen to see the Amish dudes walking around?
I did. I saw videos. I didn't see them in person, but I saw some videos of the Amish guys walking around. Look, the Amish people are changing, okay? There's some changes going on in the Amish community.
Must be.
Yeah, because when we went to South Carolina to pick up that short block for Vicky's C10, we went in Cracker Barrel, and there's a guy. I don't know what its pronoun was, okay?
It was it.
Yeah, but this is real weird. Like, it must have been a Mennonite because it had a phone. It had a cell phone. It was in Crocs. I don't know, man. I honestly sat down to eat my dinner or my breakfast, and I thought sooner or later MTV is going to pop out of someplace and ask for my signature to sign off on, allow me to be on some television show. Because I was looking at this character and I'm like, there ain't no freaking way.
I mean, her mustache was longer than my beard, huh?
Dude, it was all wrong. It was all wrong. It was terrible.
Oh,
Vicky was punching me. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. Don't say nothing.
I remember watching the video. I was like, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Oh, dude, I wanted to so bad, but Vicky would have divorced me probably and Ubered herself home from the Cracker Barrel if I had said or done anything. So I let it go. But man, there's some definite changes in the Amish community. I know that.
Speaking of that trip to go get them engines, how in the hell did you find them 2 crate engines?
Oh, so look at this. All right, look at. Here we go. So like 3 or 4 years ago, we're down at Dig or Die in Rockingham, right? And people come up and to say hi. And this fella walked up to me and he starts talking to me about the channel and likes our family and everything. And he's like, man, if you ever need any 400 small block, short blocks, let me know. I got some. I said, yeah, what kind are they? Oh, they're GM. They're brand new in a crate. What? They haven't made these since 1980. Oh, yeah, I bought a bunch of them back years ago. I bought 22 of them years ago. And when you say you bought 22 short blocks, that's an instant red flag to me. Like this guy.
Yep.
Like people come up to us and say the crate. I'll tell you a story after this story. But you guys really ought to share this link because this is about to get wild here.
All right.
So I'm thinking there ain't no way this guy is, crackpot. There's no possible way. Well, then, a few months ago, I put on Facebook, I was looking for a long block or short block for her truck. And I get a text message from this guy, which I'd forgot that I even gave him my phone number. But he texted me, hey, I've still got these 400 short blocks if you want some. I said, holy crap, this guy's for real.
Damn.
So I made arrangements to go down there, and he was right. By God, he's still got like 10 of them.
Holy shit.
Damn.
He's still got like 10 of them.
Damn.
That's unreal, man. Because when you open them crates up, I was like,
yeah,
holy shit.
Yeah, so,
it's like the Holy Grail. Small blocks.
He's in South Carolina, right? And it's humid down there in the summer. I'm thinking, man, these things were new in 1980. They were stored in Arizona, which that's a dry climate.
Right.
They were in Arizona at an RV dealership until 96 when the Vortec small block Chevys came out. and they said they were obsolete. They're getting rid of them. They put them up for auction, and this guy bought all of them. He bought 22 of them at once.
Damn.
22 at once. Had them shipped from Arizona to South Carolina. And I'm thinking there ain't no way. If these things have been in South Carolina, I mean, he's in North Myrtle Beach, right on the coast. These things are going to be foobarred, you know, because salt water right there close by and humid down there. Well, this guy is in the commercial laundry business. He does commercial laundromat repair and new and used equipment, things like that. And his shop is air conditioned. It's right on the coast, but it's air conditioned and heated. It's climate controlled all year round.
It saved him.
It saved him. Yeah.
Damn.
So when I got him home, I unwrapped him and the plastic was sealed. And sure enough, the cylinder walls and the decks, everything was like new. The only thing that had a little bit of rust was the main caps had a little bit of rust on them, just a tiny bit. And the threads in the head bolt holes just needed to be run with a tap, and that was it.
That's unbelievable.
But I mean, the one that we're getting ready to put in the 55, I did have to take it apart because the assembly oil or whatever they used on the main and the rod bearings, it had dried out and turned into like a paste, and it was stuck real bad. But the one that's in Vicky's 64 C10 right now, all we did was pull the main and rod caps, put some motor oil on the bearings, oiled up the cylinder walls with some WD-40, and dude, I put it together here in the shop, and away it went. We took it up to Bob's, put it on the dyno. That thing made 400 horsepower and made 540 foot-pounds of torque at 3,700 RPM.
That's crazy.
Wow.
What's that thing rated at out of the crate?
You know? I don't know, because it was just a short block, no cam, no heads. You know, so I put a small hydraulic roller in it and a set of Edelbrock aluminum heads. They're like a 68 cc chamber now, so it's a dish piston, 68 cc heads, got a standard Felpro head gasket, so it's not a high compression engine, but it does ping just a little bit on 87 octane if you're pushing it hard. If you're pulling a hill or something, I can hear it rattle. So you just need to put a little bit of 93 in it. But man, I'm telling you what, that thing runs really good.
That's awesome.
Really, I can't wait to put a trailer on it, and we may be doing a little traveling here in the very near future. And if I go anywhere, I'm taking the open trailer, the Malibu, and the 64.
Damn, that's awesome, man.
I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. I've never been able to do this. My whole life I've wanted to do this. Like I've done it with Billy and Tommy, but I've never gone anywhere and just been able to go race for myself and take my own car and do my own thing. I've never been able to do that, so I'm looking forward to it. That's
so badass. And to do it with an old school truck like that you all put together. Yeah. I mean, that's badass, man.
It's a brand new 400 small block. It's got a 700 R4 transmission in it, lockup converter, 373 gears. It's got plenty of power, dual exhaust. It's got air conditioning and heat. It's got vintage air in it. Power brakes. It's ready to go, man. That thing runs good. It really does. I can't wait to put a trailer on it. Okay, so you ready for this story? I got a PRI story, man, and I couldn't put it in my video. I just couldn't put it in my video.
Oh boy!
But this one tops all of them that I've seen so far. Like when you go to PRI or you go someplace and people are coming up and they say all kinds of things. Like I don't know. Like Chief and Jackie are pretty smart. Like they keep it strictly Chief, Jackie, race cars, street racing. That's it. Maybe the cats, right? They have the cats on the channel. Go watch Midwest Street Cars on YouTube if you haven't. I love them. But if you notice, it's strictly Chief and Jackie. There's no hang-arounds. There's nobody extra. It's strictly just him and her and the cats. The cats don't talk, so they don't have to worry about what they say or do. But, but when we go someplace, it ranges from, I was just diagnosed with cancer. They gave me 6 months. I watch your channel every day. It helps me keep through my depression. It's a range from, oh my God, your heartstrings are being tugged on, to, man, I can't wait to see what Uncle Bucko does to Mark next time, kicking him in the nuts. So it's like, you don't know, like 1 minute it's somebody's telling you they only got so many months to live, got cancer, and I've had that a lot. And then the next thing, it's talking about Uncle Bucko and Mark at A1 Auto Parts and Kenny Powers, or it's Vicky. You don't know,
or the squirrel talk.
the squirrel talk, or the dogs, or the freaking drone in the tree the other day. I don't know how many of them damn things I've wrecked. I get wild with them drones, man. I'm all about that drone work, and I like to get good shots. And sometimes I take some wild non-precautions. But okay, so the story. So you never know what's going to come at you. And I'm at PRI, and this guy walks up to me, and he's got his boy with him. He's like, "Hey, man, I bought this truck. I bought this S10 pickup." I said, "Oh, wow, that's cool." And he starts showing me pictures, and the truck's got a name. I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention this guy personally, nothing like that. But he tells me, "Yeah, I bought this truck. I gave $25,000 for this truck. It's the only S10 to ever beat your son 3 times." Oh, I'm trying. And so when he said that, I'm like, damn, who's got an S10 that's beat us 3 times? I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
He's like, "Here, I'll show you a picture." So he shows me a picture of this truck. Bro, this thing can't go 680. Like, I don't think that truck has ever gone faster than maybe 650s.
And that's going down the hill at KD.
And that's going to, yeah. And I'm not trying to be mean, but
No, I know.
this guy he just told me he gave $25,000. Oh, and there was another part of the story. He said, "I made him an offer at $20,000, and he counter offered at 25. And he said, "I'm at a race. If I win this race, you give me 25. If I lose the race, I'll take your 20." And he won the whole race, and I gave him a $25,000, and I took his truck home. It's the only truck to ever beat your boy's truck 3 times in a row.
I'll be damned.
Well, that's quite a story.
Tall tale.
I mean, listen, man, the guy told me one time he had 22 400 small blocks, and he had them.
Right.
So, shit, I don't know. All right, so he pulls out his phone and he shows me a picture of this truck, and I said, I've seen that truck, but that truck ain't never. I think Billy's only raced that truck one time, and he smeared him. I don't. He's like, and I tried to tell him, I'm like, "Bub, I don't know that's
don't want to hurt his feelings."
I don't want to hurt his feelings. I'm like, "Bub, that truck never beat Billy." And, "Oh, yes, it did. Oh, yes, it did. I gave $25,000 to this truck, and it's because I've got the videos." I said, "Bub, you can't have videos of something that never happened." "Oh, wow. I got them. I got the videos. They sent me the videos." I said, okay. So I'm like, the guy was starting to get almost like, I felt like he was starting to get agitated, and I don't want to start a fight right in the middle of PRI. I'm like, "Okay, man, it's your story. It's your story. I'll let you tell it." And Vicky's standing right there, and I think she's getting worried. She's like,
your neck's starting to turn red.
Yeah, she's reaching for a bag of decals so she can say, here you go, guys,"
and a cookie.
But gave my cookies away.
So then after he convinces me, he bought this truck that's beat my son 3 times. He tells me he took it to track and it went 780 at 186 miles an hour in the quarter.
Wow. Must not have went anywhere for an 1/8 mile.
Man.
His math is way wrong.
Man, I know this guy's on something. You know what I'm saying? This ain't right. But now how do I deal with this? Because there's like 15 people waiting to see me, right? There's like 15 people sitting around. They're listening to this story. And I'm just in shock. Like, I can't believe, he's getting aggravated at me because I don't believe him. Then he pulls out his phone. He shows me his truck. I mean, there is no way. I know that truck. There is no way. Like, I've only seen Billy race his truck once, and he smeared him.
Did he get into Jimmy Dale's cookies before he talked to
he
him?
might have. So then after, okay, so he's convinced me he bought the truck. It's beat my son 3 times. I give up. You're right. You did. You got it. Okay. After he convinces me and I let him go on for another 15 minutes, he starts telling me what a pile of shit it is. You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
What's his name? Aaron Gonzalez?
I don't know, man.
Was it
But I
Gonzo?
felt so bad because his boy's standing right there with him, and his boy's looking at me, shaking his head like, yeah, you know. I'm like,
Oh my
this is
God.
not right. I mean, so I mean, he finally decided he was going his way. But I mean, he told me 3 times, like he would start the story about what a piece of shit this truck was when he bought it, and he would finish the story, and he'd say like, "Yep, beat your son 3 times." But let me tell you, when I bought this thing, it was a pile of shit. We took it, and he's taking it someplace to drop it off and have it all redone. It's crazy, some of the
People's
shit that people
nuts.
come up with.
Oh, I
It's
know.
just crazy. I mean, you just never know what people are going to say and what they're going to do. But, man, I'll tell you what, I was ready to leave after that one. I'm like, man, if I get another one like this today, I can't do it.
Gonzo said it wasn't even his kid.
You know
Damn.
what? I don't know who all was standing there. I remember I was standing right there in front of the Malibu with my back to the front of the Malibu, and I don't know how many people were. I know there was like 10 or 15 people there standing around listening to this guy and kind of waiting to say hi to me. But I told Vicky, I said, so help me God, if I get another one like that, I can't make it. I can't do it.
Did he ever show you the videos of
No. Go figure. I mean,
he
I
showed you the
felt bad
picture of
for
it
the
and you're
guy.
like,
Sometimes you have to.
But you know what? I mean, sometimes people want to believe something so bad, you know, and they want to have a story to tell so bad that they talk themselves into shit. Hell, I've got a brother that does that. You know, my brother does that. He'll talk himself into something.
I knew that was coming. I knew.
I hope he's not watching. I doubt he is. He's out in the garage working on the warden's car.
And he's gonna beat Billy 2 more times before he fixes it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Lord have mercy. But no, man, we had a great time, and we went out to dinner one night with. Oh, I got another story. Jimmy Dale.
Oh boy, I heard. Tell me about. Did he give you wrong directions or something?
Yes, you already heard about it.
That's why I was asking you what you thought about him. He's fucking nuts.
All right, so, dude, I about lost my gasket. Like I got anger issues. Everybody knows that. Okay. So we're downtown Indianapolis, and the show's over, and Jimmy Dale sends me directions and a name of a restaurant. We're all going to go to dinner. It's going to be me and Jimmy Dale and Raska and like the whole Nitrous Express crew and CJ Buckner and his wife. Like we're all going to dinner, Nitrous Express. Okay. So he sends me the name of this restaurant and he sends me the address. Vic and I jump in the Suburban. You know how much fun it is to park a Suburban downtown during PRI. So we jump in the Suburban. I find this freaking place. I park out front. There's like barely one spot. And I wiggle the Suburban in there. And finally, I get done parking. And she goes, okay, where's the restaurant? I said, well, it's right there. Right there, like right in front of you. Oh, no, that's not the right restaurant. I said, yes, it is. Look at my phone. This is what Jimmy Dale sent me. Oh, no, that's not the same place he sent me. I said, well, that's news to me.
Holy shit.
So I send Jimmy Dale a message on Facebook. I said, hey, I'm at this place. Vicky's telling me this is the wrong place. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, playa. I forgot to tell you, man. We're going to this other place. I said, you got to be shitting me. So Vicky says, I got the directions. I already got the address. Vicky says, I already got the address. I'll put it in my GPS in my phone. And it pops up 8 minutes away. Walk. I'm like, I ain't moving the Suburban. We're walking. Yeah.
Oh my
No.
God.
So Vicky punches up the directions, and it would have been 8-minute walk from the Suburban. right? If she would have hit go, we get out of the Suburban and I start walking like I've got it. Somehow I've got it in my head. This place is straight down the street. So I start walking. She gets out of the Suburban. She starts walking. She never hit go on the damn phone. We walk a half a mile down the street. And I said, are we getting any closer to this freaking place or what? And she goes, well, some reason my phone's not keeping up with where we are. And I look at it and she never hit go.
Oh my God.
We are now a 15-minute walk away. Well, now it's not even giving me the option. It's a 15-minute drive. It's not it's not even giving me the walk option. Now it's a 15-minute drive. I said, you got to be shitting me. We turn around and I said, I ain't eating with that damn Jimmy Dale. I'm going to the first freaking place. We're walking back towards the Suburban. It's a half-mile walk back towards the Suburban. I said, the first freaking place I come to, I'm going in and we're eating there. And it was an Italian place. What's that Italian place down there?
Buca di Beppo.
Buca di Beppo. That's it. So they got a sneaky trick there at that place. Okay. So when you look in the windows, it don't look like there ain't nobody in there. I'm like, we got this licked. I open the door and go in, and Vicky goes, where are you going? I said, I'm eating in this freaking place. I ain't walking not a damn step more till I eat. Oh, I was mad as hell. So I go in and I make a left and I make a right in this hallway. Shit, there's a hallway a half mile long and it's clear full of freaking people down to the next block. I said, shit the bed.
Holy shit.
I said, give me that damn phone, woman. And I got the directions. I hit walk and it's like I don't know. We did get in the Suburban and drove like 2 or 3 blocks back the other damn direction. I finally found a spot to park. There was a parking lot. And we come walking up around the front of the building. And as we come around the front corner of the building, here comes Jimmy Dale and a whole bunch of Jimmy Dalers. Okay. I said, don't you freaking tell me that we're getting kicked out of this place already or we're not eating here. He's like, oh no, man, we're going to go out here and smoke a little bit of weed. We'll be right back.
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh man.
So I go in there and Raska and the rest of everybody's all back here at this back table, and Bobby Ducote's in there, and Pops and Mike Henson's in there, and so Vicky had one damn bag of cookies left in her Suburban, and as soon as she saw Bobby Ducote, she goes, "Oh, I gotta go get them cookies." So she run back out to the parking lot and go get a bag of cookies. That was the last of the cookie deliveries. After that, we were done.
Jimmy Dale's something else, though, ain't
Jimmy Dale is something else. He got me in a little bit of trouble the other day. I can't say nothing about that.
He can get anybody in trouble, I promise you. I promise
Dude,
you.
I love him to death, though.
He's funny.
He is funny. He's hilarious. He's a lot of fun to be around.
10 years ago. Go ahead.
I still remember when he was a little snot-nosed kid trying to follow us around to the street races.
Really?
I can tell. Yep.
Oh my God.
He was like 16 years old, probably trying to find us where we were street racing. He'd go to all the spots and then end up finding us, and we couldn't lose him after that.
Dude, I got to get to the gut. I hope he does a streetcar class so I can take my Malibu down there and do something. But I got to go to the gut.
Wild.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Wild.
I heard that. I know.
It is, but it's fun.
Is it as bad as the pad, or is it as wild as the pad?
It's basically like the pad,
yep.
but it's a track.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the same. It's the same atmosphere.
That's what I figure. You know, when you're at the pad, as long as you're at the pad and you ain't looking for trouble, you're fine.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking with you if you're at the pad and you're there for the racing and you're being good. You know, you're not being disrespectful to nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Jimmy Dale tried to cut in line at cash days. Mark told him he'd fold him up like a lunch.
I bet he did. Damn.
Oh man.
You want to hear a Mork story?
Yeah, let's hear it. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck that guy.
Mork and his wife is at Marion County one night and they're racing. I don't know what in the hell is up Mork's ass, but he's got every excuse why everybody that has to race his wife needs to be kicked out of the class. Like this has happened like once or twice now. And like the second or third time he comes back to me, and you know how Mork is, he gets right in your face. He's, you know, he's like, that guy raising my wife's been out here drinking all fucking night. I've been watching him. He's drunk as hell. He don't have no business in a race car. Shouldn't have to race. My wife shouldn't be put in danger like that. I said, all right, I'll go back here and take a look at it. So I go back and I look at this guy, and I don't smell nothing on him. You know, I mean, he could have been drinking vodka or something, but I didn't see nothing. So I go back up in staging lanes. I didn't say nothing. I mean, I looked at it pretty close. I looked at the situation. I didn't see nothing. And he comes back up there in the staging lanes and gets in my face. I shoved him back. I said, fucker, you get in my face one more time, you and I are going to tangle. I don't think anybody's ever said nothing like that to Mork. But man, he had me pissed. So I never forgot that. And then the other day I seen on Facebook, he's telling stories about racing drunk sometime. I'm like, you mother.
Right.
I ain't never seen a guy more full of shit than Mork.
He's a trip.
He is.
I'll tell you what, if his mouth's moving, it's more than likely shit coming out of it.
But his wife makes up for it somehow.
She's amazing.
I love her to death. And his kid. His kid's a little shyster, man. He's something else.
He's a great kid.
Yeah,
Great kid.
I love his wife as kid. Sometimes. Like that kid. Did you ever hear about Tommy making him wreck his dirt bike at Brown County?
Yeah. I heard. Come around the corner at the same time.
Mork's kid's always got a dirt bike or something. He's buzzing around on, driving everybody nuts. You know, loud, up and down, up and down. And he come up through there in Brown County, and Tommy was coming around that corner on top of the hill, and he laid that dirt bike down, and Tommy kept right on going.
Where were we at? Where were we at when he dressed up like you?
Hell, he does that all the time. I don't know.
Oh, where was we at?
Oh, we were at Clay City.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah,
y'all were gone. Y'all were gone, and he was like, I'm gonna get Bill. He walked over, and you weren't even there.
Yeah.
He come with them our overalls on, that red hat, and I was like, you got to be shitting me.
Yeah, he had a blow up swimming pool on the back of his truck. He was out there with a beach ball.
Yeah, and he was like, I was sitting there the whole time. He goes, I shit the bed. I should have been out there looking at my car over. And he goes, I shit the bed first pass. And he was like,
he's drunk. He's hungover.
Yeah, he's fucking hungover.
Dumbass.
That's what happens.
Tommy let him touch the freaking laptop one time down there when we were running the backside at Clay City, and I was pissed because he'd been drinking. He was 3 sheets to the wind anyway. He went out first round, and Billy let him get on the fucking laptop, and he let every ounce of smoke out of the tires. But luckily, we still won. It was in the final too, I think, and I think we still won. But y'all
went like half a second slower than y'all.
Yeah, like a half a second slower to the 330. I told Billy, I said, don't you ever let him touch that laptop. Good times.
Yeah, we'll be there again this year.
We'll
be again there this year.
Yep.
Clay City's a good time, man. You know what? I'd like to do, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like the small tire thing is the small tire thing. And like, I feel like everybody's doing the same shit.
They are.
Everybody's like the most out and left field or right field thing I've seen so far is Jimmy Dale's twerk contest at the Gut. Like that's different.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm the
tech.
I'm the tech and the judge.
Tech and judge. But I mean, I feel like everybody's doing the same damn thing, and I've almost made a Facebook post 2 or 3 times about it, but I don't want to offend nobody and get everybody pissed off and all that. But
there needs to be a change. Well,
here's the thing, man. When Billy and I were working together and we were promoting races, I don't know if anybody really paid any attention or if anybody noticed, but we put a lot of work into that. Like we would lock in everybody up front, and then we would release 2 or 3 that had locked in every day with a picture of their car and their name on it and an announcement about where they're from and what their achievements are, and you know what the car is about, if it's a big block nitrous or small block turbo or LS, whatever, you know what I mean? And it really made people no matter what they say, they enjoy a little bit of attention, like a little bit of a spotlight on them. You know what I mean? And we put a lot of effort into making people feel like they were part of something special. Because let's face it, there's only going to be one winner in every class. There's only going to be one winner. And my goal when we were doing it was for everybody to be so happy to just be there. If they lost first round, they didn't even give a shit. Like, I got to be there. My pictures of my car first round are everywhere. It's in videos. You know, there was a lot. We used to have live band at KD every once in a while. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was wild as hell, man. And we always wanted to do something special. And I feel like once we quit doing it that way, it's like everybody's just kind of doing the exact same thing. It's just a flyer and an event page, and it's about the payout. And I don't know, man. I feel like it's lost a little bit of something. I just don't feel like there's a lot of people that want to put in the effort like we did, like when Boosted came to Pacemakers that time. Billy and I worked our ass off all winter to promote that deal. And it just takes a lot of time. I mean, you just about have to want to work 24 hours a day to do it. But I don't know. And the other thing is, Big Tire, there's not that many Big Tire cars still, because Big Tire is so wide open. You might get a complete pro mod, or you might just get a Big Tire bracket car. You know, but
you might get 2 to show up. You might get 12, or
you might
16.
Yeah. And so the big fear with the Big Tire stuff is if one of the big names show up that really do that shit for a living. There's like a handful of them that really do that shit for a living, and if they show up, that's it. But small tire is not really like that. There's a little bit better shot at going a few rounds in small tire still than there is Big Tire if one of the big names show up. So Big Tire, there's not that many. Small tire is loaded. I mean, it's loaded. Yep. It's loaded with bears. And even when we were promoting, I was always really big on making sure there was a class for street cars or something for the beginners, or the cars that you can drive, you know, like my Malibu or something. But and we always had classes for them. And we had a class at one time. It was called Average Joe's, and it was the best class we ever had up there. They weren't allowed to have like dual adjustable front shocks, no limiters, because I wanted them to put on a show. You know, if you got a 4-second small tire car and you're out there without dual adjustable front shocks and no limiters,
going on the bumper,
it's going. You're going to have to drive it. You're going to have to CJ Buckner that shit to 330 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that put on a show, man. And the videos of that class and the pictures of that class of those cars standing up real tall, and like, it was wild, and it made a really good show, and a lot of people enjoyed it, and it made it tricky, you know, because let's face it, they weren't out there. There wasn't a class like that running every weekend someplace with that same rule set with 20 or 30 cars that were dialed in tight.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I'm not
saying that that's what we need to do, but
I would love to come up with something though to change it up. I've been thinking about it. And like you just said too, what you were also doing, promoting these racers, that also give the crowd something to look forward to also.
Yeah,
I was talking to another producer the other day. If we advertise this a little bit, almost like a wrestling event where you have a background and a backstory, that'll draw people in, to watch like a friendly rivalry or anything.
And today, more so than back when we were doing it a few years ago, but today it's become more common for a race team to have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Right? It really is.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but like some of the up and coming people that I see that are starting YouTube channels, I'll shout them out on my community page and try to help them. Like that little Brittany Friesen, Brittany Automotive.
Oh yeah.
Super nice kid. Super sweet kid.
Super.
Yeah. Wonderful family. But what I'm saying is, like, if we could get a few good promoters that had the time and wanted to work this hard to promote these events like a wrestling meet or like a wrestling match or something where, you know, let's say Jim Bob Customs is coming this weekend with his small tire Nova. It's a dirt poor LS junkyard shit wagon and big picture of it with the front wheels hanging in the air. Okay, there's a lot of people that can identify with shitbox LS. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying junkyard shitbox LS cars. Like, you know, the races that Matt Rice was doing for a while. You know, he really had a good idea, but the problem was he was attracting everything that leaked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot, like I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that can identify with a dirt poor combination like that. And if they see somebody out there, junkyard 6-liter or junkyard 5.3, and wheels in the air and hanging the front wheels and dragging the bumper and all that gives them hope. Like they can identify with that. They can relate to that.
I agree.
And that gives these people that are just there to watch and have a good time. Okay, hey man, Jim Bob's going to be there with that LS Fairmont wagon.
Yep.
One we saw with the picture on Facebook. It gives people something to identify with, and it helps draw a crowd into it a little bit more.
Yep.
And helps. And let's be honest, if these guys' YouTube channels take off, it gives them a little bit more revenue to go race.
Sure.
You know.
No, I agree.
Yeah. I used to do that back in
Just
the day.
some things to think about, man. I'm just rambling here, but
I love it.
About 10 years ago, where I used to do like a countdown, like for a month, and I'd have
30
like somebody's car
Yep.
on the deal, and it'd be like day 30, blah, blah, blah.
Yep. 27 days.
You got fucking people that say they're in and then fucking flake out the last fucking minute.
I know, man.
I know it. I know.
You know, and I think that's helped a lot of people draw. I mean, I think that's helped a lot of people to be attracted to Billy.
What do you mean?
As far as there's some of these killers out there, and he goes with a stock frame railed S10 on leaf springs with the factory upper and lower control arms and coil springs. And it gives people, you know, his truck, even though it's fast, it's faster than 99% of the other S10s that sit like that.
Except for that one truck that beat you.
Except for the one time he got beat 3 times.
Yeah, that 25 grander.
But you know what I mean? I think a lot of people over the years have related. With your car right now, you know, like, I mean.
So, I mean, Billy's really hacked that truck up now, and I haven't had no part of that, but I don't necessarily agree with 100% of it, but it's not my truck. It's not my deal. That's his deal. He does what he does, and I do what I do anymore. So, but you're right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And he had the Nova to go fast.
Yeah, he had the Nova to go fast, but he's trying to go fast on backsides with that truck. And if he wants to compete backside, he's got to do what he's got to do.
Yes.
But I've got a lot of sentimental attachment to that truck because I bought that truck for him when he was 16. He drove it to high school.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into all of it. I got a lot of sentimental, you know, that truck's
I get it.
value to me, you know, and the way it was. And it's not probably going to be the same anymore, but maybe to other people just to casually look at it, but it's fine. I mean, it's his truck.
Right.
And he's got to do what he's got to do to stay competitive. But I don't know. I hate to see it all cut up, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing that you seen at PRI?
Favorite thing at PRI?
Did I ask that already? Or was that a while ago? No, I'm thinking.
Favorite thing at PRI? My favorite thing I saw at PRI was meeting Gary Williams at the ATM.
I seen that, man, on your video. That was cool.
Have you ever watched those videos of him in his shop?
I haven't.
Oh my God. Listen, do yourself a favor right now. When you get off this thing, go to YouTube and do a search for Gary Williams carburetors on YouTube. Okay. Dude, this guy is a flippin' character. You'll love him to death. Like,
hell yeah.
You can't deny it. Like, he's got a stogie, you know, and he's got his bib apron on, his carburetor apron, so he don't get his clothes dirty, you know. He's got his old 50s music playing in the background, and it's just an old race shop, you know, dude. God
And that's
bless
just
whoever
him.
put them there. Yeah, and that's just Gary Williams. Yeah. Oh, hey, I got a story. Is there anybody watching this shit right now?
No,
No.
it's just us three.
Just us
Perfect.
three.
That sucks, man. Because like, if anybody ever wanted to hear this, I've got a really cool story.
We can always
Don't tell
come
it.
back and watch it.
Don't go back and watch it tomorrow. We got 500 on now.
Is there really?
Yeah.
All right, the 500 OGs that are in here right now, you're going to get to hear a really fucking cool story. Pardon my French. This is the coolest story I'll ever tell. Is meeting Gary Williams at PRI. So when I went down to ATM to get that deal ironed out with ATM to do those old man's garage carburetors, we were talking in the shop about different things, and Gary Williams' name came up. And I said, man, if there's anybody I ever wanted to meet, it's Gary Williams. And strictly just off watching a few videos on YouTube. Make sure you go watch Gary Williams on YouTube. He's a character. I love him to death. But anyway, I said, man, if there's anybody I'd ever want to meet at PRI, it'd be Gary Williams. And he's like, well, Gary always comes to PRI and we sell parts to him. Like he buys a lot of parts from ATM to build his carburetors. And he's like, and Tim Neely down there at ATM said, we get to PRI. If I see him, I'll introduce you. I said, dude, I'd love that. I'd love that. So we're down there and I look over and there he is. He's in the ATM booth. I'm like, damn, look, it's Gary Williams. I said, I got to meet this guy. And I was in such a hurry, like I couldn't let this pass. I couldn't let this escape me. I had to meet this guy. I had to shake his hand. And I didn't even let Tim introduce us. I just walked right around. I stuck my hand out. I said, man, I'm Bill Hoskinson. I love you to death, man. I've watched you on YouTube and I've seen your carburetor advertisements and stuff. I got to shake your hand and say thank you because you're the man, dude. I just love that guy. So he spins around. We start talking. And have you ever heard the story about Bob Glidden when he wrecked in Atlanta? I think it was Atlanta. He barrel rolled that car. The parachute got tangled up in the wheelie bars and it barrel rolled on top of the guardrail. And Bob Glidden jumped out of his race car and covered the carburetors so nobody could see. Took his jacket off and covered the carburetors. Have you ever heard that story? You ever read that story?
I've heard it. I've heard it before.
Okay. So the big thing was everybody thought Glidden must have been hiding nitrous, right? Must have been hiding this, must have been hiding that. Didn't want anybody to see his carburetors, nitrous kits, maybe something. He did have something he was hiding. And here's what it was. You ready? Bob Glidden worked with Gary Williams back in the late 70s and early 80s. And Bob was stubborn and hard-headed, of course. But every once in a while, he would listen to Gary on something. And Gary happened to be over there working on the car with him one day at the track testing. And Gary reached his hand down in the intake manifold and looked at his fingers. He said, Bob, this thing's burning oil or something. It's oily in the intake. He said, that's not oil. That's not oil. He said, reach in there and do that again and see if it smears. He said, if it's oil, it'll smear on your fingers. If it's a racing gas stain, it won't stain your fingers. Then Gary reached in. He said, by God, you're right. That is gasoline stain, but it's mixed with black stuff. So it looked like oil. He said, no. He said, Gary, that's not oil. That's reversion. That's the overlap in the camshaft, and the reversion from the exhaust stroke would blow back up through the intake valve before the intake valve would close until it built, certain RPM and the engine come into its power range. He said, the only thing that hurts is a little bit of mile an hour. I ain't worried about it. And Gary he said, I just took it in. I thought about it. And he said, I went to bed and he said, I thought about that and I just could not sleep about this reversion thing. I just couldn't sleep. And he said, I got up 3 o'clock in the morning and I started drawing sketches out for a carburetor spacer that would help cure the reversion from coming back up through the carburetor base plate and up into the venturies and slow the reversion process down. I'm like, I'll be damned. Okay. He's like, so I made these spacers. I cut them. And I tried 2 or 3 different. They were all the same spacer with a different machine cut to them. In other words, if you were to take your fingers and run your fingers down the spacer, going down, it would be smooth. You couldn't hardly feel anything, but going back up, it was like a jagged edge. Okay. And what he was trying to do was catch those reversion waves and keep them from coming back up through the carburetor with the spacer. So he made these spacers. He designed these himself. He came up with these himself, and he brought them to the track one day and told Bob, "Here, put these spacers on. I just want to try this one time." And Bob went out and set the fastest mile an hour he'd ever gone.
Holy shit.
And Bob's like, "Holy shit." He's like, he could see that it had changed the RPM range of the engine a little bit. So he set the mile an hour record for pro stock the first weekend out with these spacers. The next weekend, he came out with a little bit different gear ratio and a little bit better tune-up in it and set the ET and mile an hour record. Bob Glidden.
Damn.
The third weekend out, he went to Atlanta, and that car barrel rolled on the wall or on the guardrail when the parachute got tangled up in the wheelie bar wheels. And the first thing Bob did when he got out of the car, he covered the carburetors because he didn't want anybody to see those spacers. He didn't want anybody to know anything about those spacers. They were Gary Williams spacers underneath those carburetors that Gary Williams made himself, and that's why he covered the carburetors on that car when he wrecked.
That's awesome, man. That's badass.
Like, my whole trip to PRI was worth it for that.
Yeah.
To meet Gary Williams in the ATM booth and to hear that story from Gary, because I had seen videos and I've like on YouTube and I've heard that story. You know, Bob Glidden was a cheater. He was covering them carburetors because he had nitrous on, this, that, and the other. Gary Williams knew why he covered those carburetors, and he told me at PRI in the ATM booth why he did that. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. That was back in 1980. I can't remember exactly. It was 80 or 81. I think it was Atlanta at a national event. But
man, how old was you in 1980? Happy?
I was 2. I was born in 78.
1980. I was born in 73, so I would have been 7 years old.
I'm a little bit older than y'all.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit older than y'all.
Bill, did you think 10 years ago you'd be having a camshaft instead of carburetors?
No,
it's awesome, man.
Dude, I don't feel worth it. I don't feel worthy of any of that. I just, look, I never intended any of this to happen. All I wanted to do was help my son. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do.
I'm really, really proud of you guys.
Thanks.
I am, man. I mean, it's badass. Walking around, I sat there and looked at the carburetors. I took pictures of them, you know.
They're
but then
beautiful,
hearing about
man.
Beautiful. They really are. If I was still going to be a carbureted guy, I'd probably have some.
So look, so I get probably 5 or 6 a month offers from people to send me carburetors to test them or do a video on them or something. And look, man, I've had stuff here that just don't work out.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting my name on something that I don't believe in. Like, I've had people try to give us oil or parts or something like that, and you try it, and I'm like, God, I'm glad I didn't put this in a video. This is terrible. You know what I mean?
Right. Sure.
And like, my name means more to me than free shit.
Right.
It does.
Yep.
I got another story about that, but so I get all these messages, and nothing wrong with any of these carburetor companies. I just don't I don't need that bullshit. I just don't need it. Like, I just don't need it. I just go to Jegs, I buy me a new carburetor, I tune it, and I'm good. I don't need that. So I ignore them. And one day I was looking for a set of quick fuel metering blocks to build an E85 carburetor out of some parts for Allison's Dart. And this guy named Tim Neely, which I didn't know from Adam, I have no idea who he is, posts on there publicly, I've got some of these metering blocks, I'll send you a PM. And so I get on there, and he's like, dude, I've been trying to get a hold of you for 2 years to get you to try these carburetors. I'm like, listen, this is the God's honest truth. If you ever get a chance to talk to Tim Neely, he'll tell you this is the God's honest truth. I said, Tim, I don't want a carburetor from you. I said, all I need is some metering blocks. No, listen, I want to send you one. I said, I know. I don't want it. I don't need it. I just don't, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to put a carburetor together for Allison's Dart. He's like, well, I'd really like to send you a carburetor. I said, I'll tell you what, Kenny Powers has bought a quick fuel carburetor or whatever it was, and it had some problems. And I said, listen, if you want to send me a carburetor, you build me one for Kenny Powers Camaro. I'll put it on Kenny's Camaro, and if it runs good, I'll tell you. If it don't run good, I'll tell you too. He sent me a carburetor for Kenny's Camaro. We bolted that damn thing on there, and I'm telling you, that was the best out-of-the-box carburetor I've ever had in my life. And I was so impressed. I went right back in the house, and I called this guy. I said, dude, this is the best out-of-the-box carburetor I've ever had in my life. It's just a little 750 gas carburetor, but I'm like, this thing is perfect. It cruises good. It idles good. It's the jetting is like real close. So, I mean, within a jet size or two at the most.
Damn.
And no bogs, no hesitations in it. I mean, this thing's really good. I was just so impressed. And of course, Kenny's in seventh heaven because his shit's flying now. You know, I mean, Kenny's shit's running good.
Right.
So Kenny's really happy. But I told him, I'm like, dude, this thing makes me want to take all my stuff and just throw it in the trash. Like, it's that good. And he's like, well, let me send you one for your Malibu. So he did. That's all I'll run, dude. He sent me one. He did send me one for Billy's Mustang, and I had to tune it a little bit because that was kind of a wild situation. Billy was on the ragged edge of what that little stock 302 deal was really up for, you know. But
right.
I had to tune it a little bit. But he sent me one for the Camaro, Kenny's Camaro. He sent me one for my Malibu, which was dead on. He sent me 3 of them for the Malibu that's been dead on. And I talked him into sending one to CJ Buckner because CJ wrecked his car at Brown County. Yep. And I explained to him, I'm like, dude, this guy, if there's anybody on earth that deserves a brand new carburetor, it's CJ. Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
I mean, I have never met a nicer person at the racetrack than CJ.
Yep. Agreed.
And I begged him. I'm like, dude, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it myself. You just tell me what I owe you. He's like, no. I'll take care of it. I said, I'm not asking for free shit. All I'm saying is if you send me a carburetor for CJ, I'll make sure it gets on my video. I'll make sure that you get the attention, and I will pay you for it. I don't care. I just want to make sure he gets a good carburetor.
Hell yeah.
So when we went down there to visit ATM to sign off on that deal on the carburetors, he sent me home with one. I took it to CJ. He bolted on there, and he said it fired right up. It sounds good. I mean, really good. But
I know those guys got some really talented guys in their corner too, because when I walked by the ATM booth, there was a guy sitting there with one of their shirts on named Johnny Deacon, and he's a local guy here to me in Louisville, and he is badass. He's awesome.
So a lot of people don't know this. ATM, the family, it's a family business. ATM was Quick Fuel.
Right.
Okay. Angela, ATM, Angela, Tim, and Michaela, ATM. That's the mother, her husband, Tim Neely, Angela Neely, Tim Neely, and their daughter, Michaela, ATM.
Yep.
Angela's dad started Quick Fuel when the patent ran out on the Holly carburetor back in the 90s, or whenever it was. I think it was in the 90s. And so he started Quick Fuel. So if you bought an original OG Quick Fuel carburetor, this family and the employees that work there built those carburetors back in the day. And Holly sued them almost immediately to try and bankrupt them, basically. And then Holly was bought out by a conglomerate business. Yep. And then the person that the company that bought out Holly offered Angela's dad to buy out Quick Fuel. And he's like, I'm done fighting lawsuits. Like, they're cashing me out. I'm done. I'm retiring. So he sold Quick Fuel off, and everybody stayed on and worked at Quick Fuel for quite a while. And then finally they just decided they wanted to do their own thing again. So they started ATM. So a lot of the people that worked at Holly and worked at Quick Fuel back in the day all work at ATM now.
Yeah. I figured that when I seen Johnny sitting there, because he was a big time designer. He's very, very, very intelligent.
Dude, they're super nice people. They're super
awesome.
They've got people there that took a pay cut from other places to come work for them just because they wanted to work for that family. You know?
Damn, that's awesome.
They're that good of people. They really are. And they've got some really good employees there. They're really sharp people.
And this camshaft deal, I mean, that's that is the identical camshaft you got in Malibu?
Yeah.
And that thing drives amazing.
Listen to me, dude. LS's ain't the only one that can run a hydraulic roller now.
Right.
You feel me?
That's badass, man.
Listen, I'm telling you.
That's badass.
This thing is amazing. I went out and made a test lick on it today down here before it started raining. And, dude, I can leave it at idle. 1,200 RPM, I can leave it at idle and just stomp this thing. And it's a monster. Right off an idle. You don't have to bring it up on the converter at all.
Damn.
It is a freaking monster. And it'll turn 75, 7,600 in the burnout, and it's not floating the valves. It's not having no trouble. It's
How's that speedo working?
In the Malibu or the truck?
Yeah.
No, it's the truck.
Both of them. The truck still don't have a damn speedometer. That brother of mine.
Did he get the shaft fixed on the your dad's truck yet?
The shaft.
I know it ain't been for the brake booster.
Oh yeah, we got that done.
I know it ain't been. It's probably in the upcoming episode or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's already. I think that's already out. But yeah, we got the hydraulic master cylinder, the power brakes put on Mom and Dad's 80.
Yeah, because you said that he went to Mark and gave him the same fucking deal that he had.
That dumbass. He went
all
down
that fitting or something.
Yeah,
that fitting. You got the same
he went
fitting.
down there to Mark's and got fittings for that son of a bitch and came home and it was the same damn fitting he went down there with. The second time, Jeremy just drilled the damn thing out. He's like, I'm done. That's the true story. Mark's a character, man. I love him to death.
I know what's funny was I sent you a text one day and I said, man, next time you see Mark, ask him how he gets his head so shiny.
I called him at PRI.
You thought I was fucking with you, and then I asked you when I seen you at PRI. He goes like, "You're for real?" Yeah.
I called him, didn't I?
Yeah.
I called him right there on the spot. Au natural, he said.
Yeah. He said, I was like, man, did you use like a fucking bowling ball buffer or what on that motherfucker?
Oh my god, dude, my brother is a character, dude, and that's him. That's 100%. That's no act. That's just my brother. And the video that I'm editing right now, Jeremy went Christmas shopping at the mall, and he recorded some of it. And there was the Nutcracker, Christmas Nutcracker thing. He walks up to this freaking Nutcracker in a mall. It's a life-size, like 6 foot tall Nutcracker. He said, "That's what I'm getting Mark for Christmas, a Nutcracker."
Oh shit!
He's going to get him one for Christmas to put on the counter down there at A1.
Oh shit!
He's talented too. Your brother, he's a talented guy.
Yeah.
Just watch, since he's been with you there.
Yeah.
I mean, he can do about anything. It seems like.
Yeah, he can do about anything.
There ain't much he can't do.
Mm-mm.
Talented
No,
guy.
he's something else. I love him to death. I'll tell you what. There was a time I'd kill him. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh yes. My brother's something else.
So how growing up how was the home life with y'all too?
Good.
You got another brother too, right?
Yeah, I've got two brothers. My youngest brother's pretty sick right now. He's not doing too good.
Damn.
But nobody really ever sees or hears of him. But my youngest brother is in the hospital. I think he's still in the hospital, but he's having some problems health wise. But Jeremy's he's the middle brother. I've got two younger brothers, and no man, growing up, it was all
fight all time.
No, not till he got older, started drinking, and running the bars. Boy, then me and him just fought like cats and dogs. Mom and Dad wasn't sure if we was ever going to be able to come to Christmas and be in the same house together.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's talented. Very, very talented guy.
Yeah, he is.
I heard a rumor not long ago about you, and I was going to ask you. I don't know if I should even ask on here because
no. Go ahead.
Was there some talks, or was you in talks with somebody on possibly getting a drag strip? I heard a rumor about it. Okay, and it was
absolutely
bullshit.
Not. No.
Okay, there was a rumor, and it was one up your way that you'd been to and you'd promoted races at, and supposedly it was coming up for sale, and then these people said that they had heard that your all's name was.
Mm-mm.
Gotcha.
No, never, ever, ever.
Yeah,
No,
that just
man.
happened not long ago, maybe 2 months ago. I heard that a guy called me and we were talking about doing some events next year.
Really?
And he said, have you heard the rumor about Bill possibly getting KD? And I said, no. I said, well, I can call him and
KD?
ask. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's the last place I'd probably go. No, I mean, I shouldn't say that honestly because KD's badass. No, no.
Right.
No, that never. I haven't spoken to that guy in a long time. Actually, I haven't.
I still remember last year when we all pulled out of that race, and then you called me and you said, "Man, I think you should do that. You should do that race, or you should do it." And so I called Happy.
Yep, I remember that.
And
I
already
remember
had
exactly.
it in the works.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, I had it in the works and had
Good.
already been talking to him. And as soon as
Good.
he called me, I was like,
Good.
It's a done deal.
Maybe we should try this. And you're like, yeah, let's try it.
So when that deal went sideways with that guy getting drunk and wrecking that car up there,
Yeah.
that could have sunk that place. It really could have.
Yes, it could have.
And it damn near did. And I didn't want to see that happen. I love that place.
Yep.
I've just not been in a place where I can physically handle promoting.
Yep.
It used to be Billy and I doing all that stuff together. And so I can't do it. I can't do it without help. I can't do it by myself. And I know that. And I wanted to help them.
Yeah.
And I felt like the best way for me to help them is to stay far enough away from it that nobody really knows I was involved at all.
Yep.
I didn't want to be recognized. I didn't want to have I'm not trying to financially gain from it. Like I don't need it. There's been a day where I could have used it, but I'm okay now. You know what I mean? I'm fine.
Right.
I didn't need anything from it. I didn't want anything from it. I just didn't want to see the place go.
Yeah.
That way.
I agree.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
shouldn't no tracks.
No.
I mean that,
No.
I mean, we need to be saving them.
Yeah. So when I saw that happening and I saw everybody pulling up and they were going to leave that guy stand there with holding the shit bag, I said, man, there's really only one guy that I know. And I called Limpy immediately. I called Limpy immediately. And I remember exactly where I was standing when I called you, Chris. I had to go outside the shop and I walked back here to the RC track. I was standing back here at the RC track behind my shop talking to Chris about it because I didn't want anybody to hear what I was saying.
Right.
I just wanted it to be a private conversation. Like nobody that worked here, I didn't want nobody to know. Like I didn't want the kids to know that I had anything to do with it. I just wanted to be a silent helper. And I walked out back where nobody could hear me and I called Chris. I said, listen, man, this guy needs your help. If there's anybody that can bail this deal out, it's you. And he said, man, I'm gonna call Happy. I said, do it. This very second, do it. It's got to be done this second. Like it's got to happen right now or this deal is going to spiral out of control on the internet.
Yep.
And that place is going to be completely fucked.
Yep. And that's why we did a live show and talked about the guy that caused all the bullshit. And, there was things that was said that needed to be said. But that guy that night that owned that track, he come to me damn near crying.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, I heard, that you've put on a few races and
I believe it.
Would you be interested in doing something here? That guy's totally out of the picture now. And I said, let me call Limpy. And we had some stuff going on. So I give Chris a couple of days. I said, but if he's in, we're in. And then when he called me, it was like 2 or 3 days later, he called me and said he just talked to you. I said, dude, I'm already in the works.
Good.
We got it. We're doing it.
That was great. And that was a good event. Oh, I helped Billy won. He won the small tire thing, didn't he?
We had a blast. Yeah. It's just fun there.
And I did a little pre celebrating.
Yeah. It's just fun up there. To me, that's a really good time, a good crowd.
What really was fucked up was I rode Happy's golf cart all the way to the top of the hill, and then I realized that he ain't got no fucking
no brakes.
Good luck with that.
I was like, oh shit.
Dude, keep your foot on the accelerator and keep that clutch engaged, because if it disengages,
Oh yeah, you run 100.
oh yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Do you guys know how that whole Midnight Madness deal got started?
No.
Have you ever heard that story? Story night, I guess.
I love it.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So Billy and I had been street racing together, traveling with the S10, and we had been down into West Virginia and Kentucky 3 times in a month, and only got the truck off the trailer once.
I remember too.
Only got the truck off the trailer once, and we're just fed up, man. We're like we want to go street race, but damn it, let's street race. I mean, God, that's a long trip to go across the Ohio River and come down there in the middle of the night, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and never get the truck off the trailer before the spots are getting busted, because people, they can't keep their mouth shut about shit. You know, they just got to tell everybody, they got to whatever. But so at the time, a guy named Alan Lynch owned KD, or he was leasing it. He didn't own it. He was leasing the track. He was renting it, whatever. And I called, this is a Wednesday night. And I called Alan. I said, listen, man, you got anything going on at KD this Saturday? He's like, yeah, we got a bracket race. I said, no. During the night. Well, I mean, we're usually done by 6 or 7. I said, no. I want to start at midnight. At midnight? I said, yeah, we ain't going to run a car down the track till midnight. Are you kidding me? I said, no. I mean, I want to do an event strictly for street racers. We don't get rolling until midnight anyway. We race all night. That's what street racing's about, is you race when you can race. And usually that's in the middle of the night. I said, I want to start at midnight and do a small tire, a couple other little classes. He's like, we'll call it Midnight Madness. I said, that's perfect. If you want to do it, we'll do a flyer. We'll do this thing up. This is a Wednesday night. That Saturday night was the first KD Midnight Madness. Wednesday night to Saturday, and it was crazy, dude. You wouldn't believe, like, he couldn't believe it. He could not believe how many people came out there with only having 3 days and starting at midnight. We raced till 4 or 5 o'clock the next morning. The real OG Midnight Madnesses weren't done until the next morning when the sun's coming up. That was when it was the best.
Sound like some of the street racing here.
Yeah, that's what it was for. That's what it was about. You know, it was a street race on a track.
Yep.
And that's how that deal got started. And originally, Billy was I was just helping my son. This was Street Racing Channel. That's Billy's deal. And I was just trying to help my son. And at first, Billy was doing them for free. And then Alan came to him and offered him. He's like, hey, man, let's you're doing a lot of work to promote this deal. He says, I don't feel right not giving you something for everything you're doing. So Alan offered him like $1 or $3 a head or something like that. And Billy's like, yeah, that's fine. That'll help cover my expenses. That's all I care. And that's how it got started.
Hell yeah.
And dude, I've got drone shots of that place where there's nowhere to stand. The stands are full, and you can see cars backed up 2 miles either direction from way up in the air, drone shot.
I went to one when there was a live band. It was on a trailer on the other side of the starting line, and that place was freaking packed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was packed.
So here, you want to hear a little backstory? This is shit nobody ever gets to hear. Like nobody.
Right.
All right.
This is
why we do this show.
Okay. The live band at KD only happened once, and here's why.
I was there then. I was there.
It only happened once. And so the guy that was playing guitar in that band was the father to one of Billy's best friends in high school, right? And he's a painter. He paints houses, interior painter. They're all wild as hell. You know this. You can't be an interior painter and not be wild as hell. So this guy, he's got real long hair, and he plays rock music and jams out to his guitar. And he's from California, so everything's like, right, dude. Right, dude. It's gonna be badass, bro. Yeah, man. It's gonna be far out, bro. So this
The
guy,
Grateful Dead.
yeah. So this guy, this lead guitarist, he gets his band all together, and they go down there to do this live deal at KD Dragway on a freaking hay wagon right next to the starting line at this hillbilly racetrack, right? And they're rocking out, and they're all having a great time and everything. And Billy asked the guy how much for the band, and he told Billy a price, and Billy paid it. But the fucking guitar player didn't pay none of the band members. He took it all and didn't pay nobody else. So that was about a fist fight at the end of the night over that fucking band. And the guy that owned the track, what the hell's his name? I just said his name here a minute ago. Alan, the guy that owned the track. He was so fucking fed up with that band shit by the end of the night because they were fussing and fighting over not getting paid. They came after Alan for something, and Alan said, "That's up to Billy. I ain't got no part in that."
Damn. I was there for that one.
Let the band play.
Let the band play.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Alan got sued over KD Dragway too, Midnight Madness once too.
Really?
Oh yeah, there was a big lawsuit. There was this is shit nobody hears about, nobody's ever heard about. Maybe I shouldn't even say it. My son had the bright idea. One of the Midnight Madnesses. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Well, it's already been settled, so I can't say nothing. One of the Midnight Madnesses fell on that Mayweather fight. What the hell was his name? Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, one of those Midnight Madnesses was on the schedule, and then this Conor McGregor Mayfield fight fell on that date. And Billy was worried that everybody's going to be at the bar watching this fight. Nobody's going to show up to Midnight Madness. So Billy got a freaking inflatable screen, big inflatable screen, and set it up and played that fucking fight.
Oh, and played it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't think anybody would ever find out. I mean, it's just a little shithole track down in southern Ohio, right? Oh no, it went viral. Like people were live videoing on their cell phones
of the screen.
There's like
and it's a pay-per-view.
It's a pay-per-view freaking fight, and they're live on Facebook. Like hundreds of people are live on Facebook. They're like, dude, we're watching the Mayweather fight at KD Dragway at Midnight Madness. The cars are going, Oh yeah.
Oh shit! I never even would have thought about that. Yeah, Billy didn't either, obviously.
Well, there was some there was some other shit going on there because Alan bought the track from the family of the guy that lived up in that house on the hill, and Alan and the guy that still lived in the house on the hill didn't get along. Like Alan pissed this guy off like real bad. Made the guy build his own driveway back to his house to get off the track property, which he should have done anyway. But there was a big deal over a water line that broke in the middle of winter, and the guy in the house up here lost his water, and Alan wouldn't leave work and come fix it. It's not Alan's problem. You see what I mean? Right. So there was a neighborly dispute. So when Billy played that damn fight, that son of a bitch in the house up here turned him in.
Damn.
That was a big deal. Yeah, Billy had to do quite a few of those Midnight Madnesses for free to help pay that back. He had to settle that lawsuit over that shit. Like
holy shit! People I'd have never thought of that.
Oh, dude, people have no idea what we went through to put those races on. They have no idea what me and Billy and Alan and everybody that was doing those races. There was some bullshit that went on.
Mook got a question for you, but I don't know what it is.
Got a question for Bill.
You got a question for Bill. Let's hear it.
If he asked me about changing jets in New Jersey, I can't tell that story right now. It's a good fucking story, though. Let me tell you. And someday I'll get to tell that story, and it'll be funny as hell. But today,
it's not that day today.
It's not that day. It's not that day today. I wish it was that day. God, I wish it was that day, but it ain't that day. Did that guy ever ask his question?
No, we're waiting.
We're waiting. Moose gonna make him tell a story. All right.
I'm ready.
Are you going to get your car out? And I know you were saying you're wanting to do some traveling. Is that? I mean, are you for sure going to get out and do some stuff pretty soon?
Yeah, I'd be going someplace this weekend, but the rain, like the closest place, The best weather is Friday of this weekend down south. And I was looking at going to, not that I want to go there for this event, but the JJ Arm Drop deal is on a Friday night. There's test and tune. I thought about going to that, and I think it's at Battlefield. I'm not sure, but I was looking at going to that. Yeah, Mississippi. I was looking at going to that, but damn, you just about have to go to Florida to get decent weather this weekend.
Are you ever going to make Paradise Drag Trip in Calhoun, Georgia?
I was already looking at going there this weekend, but I'm not. I don't think I can make it this weekend. I don't think the weather's going to be worth a shit anyway.
Somebody asked, what do you think the Malibu's going to run with the new motor, basically?
I don't know. I know I can tell you the car runs really good on motor. I mean, I would be shocked if the car didn't go 1060s right off the bat on motor. The way it sits, just drive it, fill it up with pump E85 and blast it. I bet it'd go 1060s, maybe a little faster. I don't know, because it runs really good. It runs way better than my Nova ever did. My Nova went 1060s back in the day, but this thing really runs good. I can't wait. It's driving me crazy. I can't wait.
It should be a pretty low 9-second car.
Yeah, it'll go into 9s easy. I'll be honest with you. I think it might go 580s in the 8th turned up.
Damn, man, that's awesome.
Tom Gunner, give me Dale. How cool would that be, though? How cool would that? I mean, I can't do it all the time because it don't have a cage, and I ain't putting a cage in it.
Yep.
But how cool would that be to have a car go 580s with air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, driving?
That's unreal. That's awesome.
And it's small block Chevy. It's not an LS, you know.
Yep.
But
no, that's awesome.
And I think I can do it. It's got enough dope on it. Tom Gunner hooked me up with enough dope to make it do it.
Yeah.
It's got that dual stage.
I think you just answered your question right there.
What's that? What's the ultimate goal for the Malibu? I'd like to go 580 in it. I'd like to go dip into the 5s. If I can get it.
That is for that car, and with like you say, with AC and driving to the track.
Do you see it? Do you see it doing it with the 700 R4?
I don't know. It could, because in all honesty, for that car to go 580s, all I got to do is go 130 something 60 foot.
Yeah.
The dope will take care of the rest. And I can tell you by what it feels like out here on the test spot, 138 60 foot ain't a problem.
Yep.
If I can get the shocks and the tires. I mean, it's 3,800 pounds with me in it. So it's hard on sidewalls. It's got 275 pros on it right now. And I had it out here on the test spot down here from the house today and just made a lick on it, and it just rattles the tires, something terrible. I got to go up on tire pressure. I just got to work on it, but it's ungodly in low gear.
Damn, I love that car too,
dude.
Man.
I don't think I'm going to have to spray it in low gear. I think in all honesty, the nitrous is probably going to have to start to fade in midway through low gear, and then start turning it on in second, because that 700R's got a 306 low gear.
Holy shit!
Oh, it's nasty.
Damn.
I didn't realize that. I've never really messed with one, so I didn't know that it.
Dude.
Holy shit!
That thing is like, I'm telling you, I can leave it idle. Leave it idle, just stab it, and it's gone.
Damn.
That camshaft impressed me so much. Nolan told, like, I questioned Nolan 2 or 3. This is no bullshit. Like, the story I told on their YouTube channel is legit. Like, I don't bullshit. I wouldn't make shit up. I'm telling you. He told me, first off, it took forever to get it. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to get it in by PRI because they're waiting on a blank, but he sent this cam and I unwrapped it and I looked at the cam card and I texted him. I'm like, dude, I don't know, power brakes, vacuum power brakes, you know what I mean? 600 lift hydraulic roller, 248, 256 duration. I'm like, man, I don't know. He's like, just trust me. Just trust me. Put it in, have Bob degree the camshaft. You guys are doing a good job on the valve train. Just trust me. Put it in. Just put it in. If you don't like it, take it out. I said, all right. But he said, I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to call me the first time you drive it. You call me. I said, okay. So I videoed it. Now, obviously, if it went south, maybe I wouldn't have showed it, right?
Right.
But I videoed it. Like for real. I videoed. Dickie went with me the very first time I drove it down the road, and I thought for sure this son of a bitch ain't gonna have brakes. You know, it's not.
That's what I was going to ask. Plenty of vacuum.
No problem, dude.
Damn.
No problem. No problem. No problem.
Unreal.
Yeah, dude. That guy. I was watching the video last night on Alex Taylor's channel, actually, and she went out to California and she toured Iski's business out there where they're located at. And if you really pay attention, like if you're watching to learn something and not just look at Alex Taylor, right? She's a good looking kid. But if you're really paying attention to what Nolan was saying and how much knowledge that man has, you come to the conclusion at his age, for him to know what he knows, everything that he spoke, just a little bit of shit that he touched on in that video, for him to know that much, then you have to come to the conclusion that this guy has been doing camshafts since he's 10 years old or something. I was blown away. And I texted Nolan that. I'm like, dude, for you to know all that information at your age, I said, you had to have been grinding camshafts in your sleep in preschool.
Damn.
He said, I started at 16 years old.
He's never left.
He's never left.
That's
never
awesome.
left. He was mentored by Harvey Crane. Look
Damn.
that. Google that. Yeah.
How far out are blanks wait time?
I don't know. That's a question for them. I don't know that, but I know I had to wait on mine, so I'm sure there's a wait. So
I just got a chance to see
Nick
Iski
Taylor
Camp.
thinks Alex Taylor is hot too.
Yeah, I'm sure
I know Nick Taylor likes her. Dude, I'm really happy for that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're very happy, and I think that's just a really good couple.
Yeah.
Nick's a good dude. Nick's a really good dude. I like him a lot. I
do
like that.
too.
I like the whole Mac TV group, all of them. All of them.
Yep.
I like all those guys. They're fantastic people.
And talented.
Adam Hodson and Bumper Wilson and all them guys, they're fantastic people.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a nicer group of people to ever go racing with, for sure.
They are. 3 legends at once, Creech.
No, I don't know about that. Dude, I need to get off here and get something to drink because my throat.
We are too, and I'm sure Limpy's got the piss.
All right.
His water pills are kicking in.
I've just been peeing on myself. We're good. Like I'm floating down the river. Just floating down the river here.
Thank you, man, for coming on.
Well, Bill, you got any sponsors? Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Nitrous Express, baby.
Iski Cams.
Iski Cams, RC Comp.
ATM.
Yeah. ATM.
I'll help you out.
Thank you, man. I wasn't ready for that. Like you guys, I wasn't even planning on coming on here tonight.
Man, we've had fun. Thank you.
We've had a good time. Appreciate you coming on, though.
I don't know if anybody will ever watch this back far enough to watch all this shit, but
we might need to get you on just one time. Just do one show.
Yeah, I had fun.
I can, dude. I got
get you and Miss Vicky on.
I know you're busy.
No, it's not that. It's just
both y'all.
Most of my stories will be better in a few years. I got to let something go first. I got some shit going on that we just need to ignore for a while. But once that clears up, the stories will be pretty goddamn
get
good.
You, Miss Vicky, and the turb barrels on.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're good.
Tommy,
right there. Yep.
Tigger. Oh my God, dude, he's hilarious.
Oh boy,
he's hilarious. If you should get Tommy on here one night. He's hilarious, dude.
He's
so funny. You should get Tommy on here. Tommy's got some stories he can tell.
Hell yeah.
What? How much shit he's gonna buy? How much fucking old shit he's gonna old trucks he's gonna buy?
Right. I don't know. He's something else. All right, guys. I'm gonna hop off here.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Love you, man.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. As always, 209gallery.com, chainprotect.com, on Tilt Racing. That was a good time. That was good.
It was, man. I love hearing stories like that too.
That's what this show's about, people.
Dude, I love that shit, man.
So, I mean,
because you won't hear that nowhere else. Who's going to get the opportunity to hear that story from Bill? You know what I mean? Like if you don't know him, you don't go eat dinner with the guy or something, you wouldn't. Like that was badass, man. All of that. That was. I had fun. I enjoyed it tonight. Big time.
What's your best story?
Fuck, I got a bunch of stories. We could be here all night on that shit. No, that man, I've really enjoyed that. Like, see, that's something I won't forget. You know what I mean? Us just sitting on here bullshitting with him. Like, I think people that watched tonight, I think they had everybody. I'm reading it now. You know, everybody's talking about great show. Like, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
He
Which we were
he
gonna
was
have
in the comments.
Yeah, we were gonna have Richard on, and then we are gonna talk. Then I'm gonna get Richard off because I know Richard gets up early to go to work.
Yeah.
But then we were gonna just talk about
Shoot the shit.
PRI and shoot the shit, and then Bill just having.
He's in the comments.
Yeah. You know, that's how much people want to come on the comments. Just shoot me a message. I mean, usually I send it on Facebook Messenger, but you ain't got to be nobody. I'm a nobody.
Shit,
I
ain't shit.
I like stories and
Man.
if it has tits or tires, I'm down for it.
Yep. Damn right. What's your plans for this weekend?
Probably hopefully some Mexico action.
Same.
Man.
That's what I was going to tell Bill if he felt like riding down and just watching and hanging out. It's going to be cold, but
Yeah.
We're going to do something, I believe. Everybody's already getting cabin fever, seems like.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a little chilly this weekend too, especially here. I know it's going to be a little chillier up there for y'all, but
9's the low, but we're going to try.
That's it. Actually, usually our winter time is usually about February here.
30s for you right now. That's cold.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually winter time for us.
Hell yeah.
But usually February. Usually it happens to be for some reason it falls around Valentine's Day. It usually gets just nasty around here for about a week or two, and then
all right, starts warming back up.
Yeah, and then it starts going back up. But it is what it is.
Man, your Christmas cake story. I'll be damn. I looked over next to my recliner today. There's 3 boxes. 3 boxes. Now, how in the hell they got in there the last few days since I've been back from PRI, I have no idea. Kenzie said, "You got to be shitting me. While I'm at work, you just sit here and eat Christmas cakes."
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It is. It is.
What the problem was I locked the doors to the car and took a nap and woke up.
Myself when you said that.
I don't know what happened.
He said I had a whole box of Christmas cakes.
I did. I
locked the fucking doors. I took a nap.
Rolled the windows up, locked the doors, seen the fucking Christmas tree cake sitting there, and went to sleep. Woke up and them motherfuckers were fucking. The box was empty and the wrappers were in the passenger seat.
I fucking died. Oh my god, man! I get to cry and get to fucking laughing. Shit, I was dying the other day at PRI, and my side hurt so bad I couldn't fucking laugh. Oh my god, I was dying.
What was fucked up was the old lady, the old lady come home today, and we had no bread, so. And I went out back and had a safety meeting, come back in, and I got a little bit of munchies and I wanted some peanut butter. We didn't have no fucking bread. But I found some crackers.
You damn right.
Fucking got some crackers. She brought some home. She was like, well, because I'm going to sleep I'm going up to my mom's tonight and sleep over there. Because all right. So she's like, but I brought you some bread, some cereal, some cookies.
There you go.
And I was like, what happened? She goes, well, I seen that you had the
crackers out.
You got the Chibras going last night, and you had the Chibra munchies. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I seen all the wrappers for the crackers. And I was like, well, shit.
Hey, that's one of my favorite snacks, man. I'm still old school as fuck. I take a spoon, a scoop of peanut butter on a cracker. I can damn near eat a whole sleeve of crackers, man, and not even think about it.
Yeah, no jelly on the crackers, but if I put it on bread, then it's got to be jelly.
Yep, yeah. I agree.
And I couldn't. Luckily, I found them crackers because I couldn't find no crackers. I couldn't find no bread.
I'd have just ate the peanut butter.
I had fucking tortillas though. I was like, some low carb tortillas. I was, I might have it, and then I happened to see the fucking crackers. I was like, okay, we're good.
You damn right.
Oh,
yeah, it's fun tonight, man. Good time.
Good time. Good time.
Yeah.
We need to. We hit up a couple people.
Yeah.
When Bill was talking about he met, he went straight to Gary Williams and was like shaking his head. You know, they got a vibe of like when I met a fucking small black PD on the street. Everybody was like, I walked straight up him and everybody's talking to me. I just fucking beeline. Man, I want to shake your hand. Man, I've been a big fan of yours forever. He's like, what? I've been a big fan of yours forever. I was like, no, you don't understand, dude.
Yep.
Been watching y'all for forever.
Yep. I got the videos here too, man. Yeah. Like I did it at Mega Cash Days. He was standing off to the side and he nodded at me and I walked over and I was like, no, fuck that nod, man. I said, I want to shake your hand. I've watched you. I've been a fan. And then walking through PRI, we were walking through the parking garage and we passed and he reached over. You know, that's just cool, man, getting a chance to meet people like that now.
Yeah.
I've watched that dude forever, man. Watched him forever.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll be back next week.
Yep. Same
bat time, same bat channel. We'll find somebody to come on there.
Yep.
But as always, on Tilt Racing, Chuck and the guys.
Thank you, brother.
Killing it. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Keep it straight.
Keep it straight.